Hello, everyone, and welcome to Devils United. As everyone has requested, I'm doing a watch along for the World Cup 2022, and no better one than to do England versus Wales. Both John and Reece will be here very, very soon, and then we can kick off with the game. So I'm going to put the score line below, so then you have got that. So I'll quickly go into the comments. Good evening, Luca. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Good evening, Niall. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Is it coming home? I'd like to say it's coming home, but I don't think it's going to, I must be honest. I like coffee. Hey there, I like coffee. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. I've never seen a more legendary trio since Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. And hello there, Renee. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. So, whilst we're waiting for both John and Reece, I thought I'll quickly go through the lineup for both England and Wales, and we'll first go with England, as there has been some couple of changes. Pickford is starting in goal. Kyle Walker is back in the right back position, replacing Kieran Trippier. John Stones and Maguire stay in the back partnership, and Luke Shaw stays in his place on the left back. The pivot has changed, so Bellingham has moved further forward into the 10, which I think may be a bit more ideal. But Jordan Henderson replaces Mason Mount, and he does play alongside Declan Rice. Phil Foden plays on the right-hand side, who is replacing Bukayo Saka. Marcus Rashford gets his starting 11 place, replacing Raheem Sterling, and Harry Kane stays in the 9 role. As we all know, he is the captain for England. For me, with that squad, I think there's been some good changes, but some bad changes under the same time. I'm not a particular big fan that Jordan Henderson has started. People who see my thumbnail, I put a Bellingham and Calvin Phillips picture. It was just more to say who starts, Phillips or Bellingham, because reports were saying Bellingham was getting dropped. He hasn't been dropped, of course, but to be honest, I don't think Jordan Henderson has been on good form this season, so I wouldn't have minded Calvin Phillips starting, just because I think he is the best on the ball for the England midfield. John is here now. John, how are you?
Maisy, good evening to you, love. How are you doing, pet? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, champion, all the great to see you back again. Do you know what? I have missed you. And you know what it is, right? Am I going to see Maisy? I'm sure I will. If I saw you now, Maisy, I'd give you a big, big hug. I would have tears in my eyes. And you know what? I would have made you happy.
I know you would. You would.
And Jules said hello to you, by the way, and she thinks you're highly. I talk to her about Jules all the time. You're so highly rated, and to me, you're just a Real Madrid of the
I'm glad you're doing well, John. I think this is our first show since I've come back from America as well.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So it's been a while. It's been about 3 weeks, or maybe even more, since I've last seen you properly doing a show together. So I'm glad to always see you. I was just discussing the England lineup. What are you making of that lineup for you, John? Because I think some parts of it I'm happy to see Rashford and Foden. I think Bellingham should play in the 10 because I think he is more creative, in my opinion, than to play defensive with Declan Rice, but I'm not overly impressed with Jordan Henderson playing.
I'll have to agree with you. I'm giving to all the viewers, by the way, do support Maisy's channel. She's had a tough time the other night, and please, she's helping other people. Start singling on out, start having a go at us, sort of thing. We know who the culprit is, and that's just for another day. But look, you're right. I mean, it's too defensive for me, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? It's too defensive. I mean, I'd rather see someone who plays at a 10 can play at a 10. Like Foden can play at a 10. That's no problem.
Mason Mount can, but I think he played pretty crap, didn't he, to be honest?
He did. He was crap the other night, sort of. I can't lie. That one shot he had on target, I'll give him that. But for me, he's just plays that position yet again. I really do. But Foden's a 10 because he makes things happen.
He plays a wing and a false 9 as well, because Pep Guardiola's used him like that. But I don't think Pep has used him on the right wing. He's used him on the left.
He has. This is the thing, right, Maisy, right? I mean, Pep plays him where he knows best, right? He plays on the left-hand side as a 10 and not the false 9, yeah? And then Gareth Southgate puts him on the right. I just don't get it at all whatsoever.
It's to accommodate Rashford, I'd probably say.
He's left-footed, though. He's left-footed. He can't play a left-footed player on the right-hand side if he can do it. But I like to see Foden on the left, where it gives that balance, and Rashford on the right.
I don't think Rashford suits the right. That's just my only concern. I think when he plays on the right, he's absolutely awful. So for me, it feels like Foden playing on the right is to accommodate Rashford coming onto the left-hand side.
Yeah. Exactly what I mean, Mason. Exactly what I mean. I mean, that doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look right to me.
And I don't think... Yeah, I don't think Rice and Henderson suit each other either. They don't complement each other. And I think if you was to use Bellingham in the 10, I have no issues with that at all, because I think Bellingham is quite creative. But why not bring on Calvin Phillips? Because I'd rather Calvin Phillips play, who's played 50 minutes, who we know has a great partnership with Declan Rice. Even if you used him for 50 minutes in the game, then play start Jordan Henderson. Maybe that's me being silly, but that's what I'd rather do.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But you have to understand as well that Calvin Phillips hasn't been playing much football, and I know he's played 50 minutes, but he needs more game time. But 50 minutes coming to the World Cup, it's just not going to work out, sort of thing, because you could be sub early, sort of thing. Like, you need a good few gears before you come to the World Cup. But now they got Jordan Henderson in, right? I mean, what's he going to do? Like, he's going to sit there. We should be attacking Wales at all. We should be playing an attacking side. That in an attacking side for me. Do you know what I mean? It's not, because you got 3 technically defensive midfielders there as well. You're playing the defensive midfield as a 10 role, like in Bellingham. I love Jude Bellingham, but that's not his role. It's not. It isn't. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, if you're going to play someone on the right-hand side, play Foden as a 10, then you'd be better off playing flipping Son.
Mount would be good on the right, because he plays on the right-hand side for club. And I think... as much as Mason Mount played crap in the previous game, I actually think he's our best crosser.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a fan of Mason Mount, to be fair, but you're right. I mean,
him and Trippier are the best crossers.
Yes, I mean, Trippier's dropped as well. I mean, probably the rest of them, when Kyle Walker dropped, I think it's a good thing. But you're right. I mean, it's Gareth Southgate's the manager, sort of thing. He knows what sees fit, and I just hope he gets this formation right, because if he doesn't, even though we go through, there's going to be questions off him as well.
100%. And we'll go on to Wales squad, see what you think. Danny Ward, Davies, Memphis, Rondon, Williams, Allen, Ethan, Ramsey, James, Moore, Bale. So they've been playing from a 3-5-2 and they've changed to a 4-3-3. So they've changed the formation completely. And that's an interesting one. And it's going to be interesting if Wales is going to be open on this game, because, in my opinion, both Ramsey and Bale's lost their legs. They haven't got
absolutely.
The pace.
I said that on Tony's show as well. They haven't got the legs to do it anymore. Gareth Bale just not as quick as he used to be, but he's got football and brain, right? And Danny James, yes, he's got pace. They need pace in that team. And Aaron Ramsey, as great as been, he just hasn't got anymore. And also, he's been injured prone as well. John Hodgson got it right the other day. That is not as quick as it has been nowadays. They haven't got the legs anymore yet. But that's an interesting Welsh team, by the way, playing 4-3-3. Why did not play 4-3-3 against Iran and went for it? Do you know what I mean?
You would have done out of all teams.
You would have thought so.
And even USA, you'd even have a good go at the USA at least, because they've made history, Wales. And I know if you was obviously a Wales fan, you'd be proud for the country to go through. But as a manager in Rob Page, and knowing the teams he's knocked out, such as Ukraine, who was on great form beforehand, you'd think that he'd want to give it his best shot in the World Cup. And I think the problem is that they've got quite an aging team, and using that 3-5-2, they're doing that to try and stack up the midfield because of Aaron Ramsey with his legs, and then putting Bale up front to think he's not going to need to pace it as much because he's got Dan James who can do all the dirty work.
Yeah, that's a great shout as well. I mean, what you said there as well, I think you got it absolutely right. I mean, he has to change it up, sort of thing, and Yeah, like I said, Dan James loses legs as well, and this is just about an aging team as well. I think Wales needs to when one spell and Ramsey calls it a day, they're gonna have to find someone to replace it, which ain't gonna be easy. Do you know what I mean? But I can't see Wales qualifying for a long time yet. Do you know what I mean? So I just
sorry, I'm late.
There he is. He says,
"Hello, sorry, I'm late."
The game's kicked off now anyway. I just want to say as well, big thank you to Liam for the €10 super chat. It really means a lot, and thank you for all the support that you've given me since April. You've been a great mate of mine as well, so thank you very, very much for that. Before we hit the comments anyway, I'm going to go with score predictions. I'll go with you, John. I from my prediction show with Luca, I went for a 2-1 England.
I'm gonna go 2-0 England. I mean, it's gonna be scrappy, but I think Wales will make it hard for us. But I'm going to say 2-0 of England.
And Reece, what are you going for?
Both sides to lose.
That's not possible.
I know. I'll just go
behind you, Mike, by the way.
I'll just say 1-0 England. I don't really see much happening here.
Hey there, Renee. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Maddison on the bench and Danny Ward starting for Wales. James Maddison could have been an interesting one because me and John was going through the lineup, and James Maddison would have been great to start in the 10 even as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Reece.
I would say so, but he's not really fit to start though. I would say playing Maddison from the off would be it'd be a very risky decision by Southgate. I mean, you take risks in this tournament if you want to actually do well, but personally, I don't think starting Maddison would have been the wisest of options.
What about you, John? What do you think about that? Because I look at him and think James Maddison minus Phil Foden has probably been our best player, like in terms of club.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's come on form, isn't he, Maddison, when he played for Leicester. He's been absolutely outstanding. Yes, that injury at West Ham is a bit damaging, a bit sad to get him injured there, but he's on form and he deserves to be picked for England as well. And if he was fully fit, we'd definitely have seen James Maddison playing 100% because that guy is absolutely brilliant. We've been linked to him as well, by the way, and I wouldn't mind taking him now because he could make a difference to get us in top 4 winning the title.
I don't know if you heard, John, but James Maddison said that he's been watching videos of Bruno Fernandes when he first joined the Premier League, and that's how he picked up his form for this season.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant because Bruno doing Bruno things. Bruno's been absolutely outstanding. If you want to learn from Bruno, he's that guy. Do you know what I mean? I think he's only did that because I think he wants to come to Newcastle and sort of thing. You learn from him, you know what I mean? But so when he comes to Newcastle, if he does come to Newcastle, right, learn from Bruno. But I think Bruno will go more forward, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And Maddison will probably playing in central midfield and the midfield 3, but. Look, at the end of the day,
plays a 4-3-3, don't you, instead of that 4-2-3-1? So we'll have, if he obviously came to Newcastle, he'd have a bit more of a deeper role than Bruno.
Absolutely. I mean, Maddison would do his thing as well, as you know. Bruno would just do Bruno's things as well, and Joe Linton, right? Just be box to box and control the pitch as well. So we have that midfield 3 that could get us top 4. Quite easily because our midfield 3 would be so strong. We've got so many midfielders now. Joe Willock, John Joe Shelby, Sean Longstaff. To be fair, right, he's not my favourite player, but he's done well, to be fair. He stepped up. He has stepped up. We're just getting to see the best of Sean Longstaff again. But do we need to spend more money on the midfielder? Maybe. We're after another one, Andre Santos from Vasco da Gama, the Gama from the Brazilian League. He's not played in the Brazilian top flight. But his team has been promoted, by the way, via playoffs. So that's why Barcelona will not pay 25 million quid for him because they feel that is too much for an 18-year-old who has not played for the top flight.
Yeah, Yeah, I definitely see the point. You'd probably have to get a bit more experience beforehand and probably have to be thrown into the academy first or maybe just to get a bit of experience. Good evening, Henry. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Good evening, Ravi. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Henry's gone for a 2-1 Wales. Why, Henry? Why? Renee's gone for a 2-1 England. Did Maddison say Bruno? He said Bruno Fernandes. I like coffee. Bruno Fernandes.
Specifically Bruno Fernandes.
He did. He said he watched videos of Bruno Fernandes. He's
I
like,
think it's a Bruno Gamache.
No, Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, man.
He watched his video from his first, I think it was like from his first season and a half at Man United. And then he watched like video comps of how good, like some of the styles he done, his tricks and stuff like that.
Right, I see what you mean, man. I've got the wrong flipping Bruno, but hey, it is what it is, man. But yeah, I mean, Bruno. I mean, I know a lot of people think he's a cheat sort of thing and that as well. But when he's on the skim, he's on the skim. The guy's on the skim line, but but he's a damn good player. I mean, is he a big game player?
I would say so. I don't think the team works without Bruno, in my opinion, and probably Reece may agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
He's a big game player.
He's our best midfield player, but the best midfielder in the league right now is Bruno Guimaraes.
Without a doubt, without a shadow of doubt, and I hope he stays in Newcastle for a long, long time. Give this guy a new deal, 200k a week, and give him a long-term contract to just to scam, keep him away from Real Madrid, because Real Madrid are faltering as well. I mean, look, they got Camavinga and they also got Tchouaméni as well, the two young French lads from Madrid. Luka Modric could retire at the end of next season. This could be his final season. They're going to need a midfield for him. They could have Jude Bellingham.
I think they might get Bellingham. I think Touch Too Many is a good player, but I think Camavinga's a bit hit and miss.
He was linked to United a few years ago. Camavinga.
I know. No, I agree. I think he went a bit hot and cold. When he starts games for Real Madrid, he doesn't look on it, but when he comes off the bench, he looks calmer.
He looks on
I don't think he's going to be good enough to start games for Real Madrid unless he adds more to his game. But Tchouaméni, you can see from the off why Real Madrid signed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tchouaméni's class. He is absolute class. I mean, there's a player I'd like to take at Newcastle. It's Benoit Badiashile. Monaco defender. That guy, he is brilliant. That guy,
he's a physical specimen.
He is. Was he 6'4", right? I mean, Newcastle's been after him. Like, you need to get him very quickly. Otherwise, Real Madrid might get him and off.
I do wonder where he might go, because obviously PSG are now circling at mostly Parisian or top French talents. They might look at Badiashile as well. Wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise us at all. But you need to get him to eventually replace Fabian Schär, long-term replacement for him. But to be fair to Fabian Schär, I think he's been playing really well. I think he's playing his best football for Newcastle United.
Mm.
I like what he said. Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro have been great in the World Cup. I was telling John, I'm a bit jealous Casemiro plays for Man United. Casemiro, Bruno and Joe Linton would have been an awesome midfield for us.
Not wrong. Not wrong. I agree with that.
And you know what? Yeah. That is a title-winning midfielder. A title-winning midfielder.
100%.
We win the league that,
yeah, 100%. Here's a question from Rabbit. How did England get in and around Wales? In my opinion, because we obviously went through the lineup earlier on, I'd say the right-hand side with Bale and Ramsey. Because they're on the right-hand side with Nico Williams. So I think the pace isn't as in there as much as Daniel James. Daniel James likes to do a bit of the dirty work. So that's where I would personally go for if I was going to be attacking and get all the play to Phil Foden and get Phil Foden to cross it into Harry Kane. What would you do, Reece, from a neutral point of view?
For me, I would, as much as I can see your point about using the wings, I'd actually go slightly more narrow. I'd actually go directly through the middle at Wales. Force the likes of Joe Allen and Ramsey into pressure, especially because Joe Allen doesn't have the legs anymore. Ramsey he's hot and cold, and I still haven't forgiven him for the Europa League final. I think the best option is
Shouldn't
going
have
at
got to that for Rangers. The Rangers shouldn't have been in that Europa League final. You can't solely blame Aaron Ramsey.
I blame Ramsey for missing the penalty.
Yeah, but fashion was crap. Fashion was crap.
Oh, aye. I've always said that. But then again, though, he's a teenager. Aaron Ramsey's in his 30s. Even so, I still think purely in that sense, like I would say for England, their best chance is going for the middle, and for Wales to go against England, I would say you actually target the width of England. To be honest, even though you've got really good fullbacks, I think that's the best option for them. I don't think they can go through the middle because they'll just get outworked by the likes of Rice.
Oh, good save. Great save.
That's what I would do. That's what I'd do anyway.
What would you do, John? If you was Gareth Southgate, and you told England to get in and around Wales, what would you do?
For me personally, I mean, apart from what Reece is saying there, I mean, I'll just get into Ramsey and Aaron as well. Get through the midfield as well. Play probably. I still use the wings. I'll give the ball to Foden as much as you can. He can boost something out and out as well for me. Yeah, because he's the only one you can create out of it. You know what I mean? We could do another one in the central mid, but unfortunately, right, we ain't got that. We've just got 3 midfielders. Just haven't got the creativity at all whatsoever. But for me, I'll give Foden the ball as much as you can, and then see how it goes from there. But look, again, it's Southgate. It's just too defensive, people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our England rivals with Wales. Wales hate us. Wales have some kind of agenda against Wales.
It's because of the Union Jack, I think.
Well, I have an agenda with Wales now.
I think it's because they're not on it. So.
I think this comment is more for John. So happy my boy Koulibaly scored. I think that's more for John than for me.
I love Koulibaly, so Koulibaly, bring it on. Bring all the Koulibaly.
He's not used right at Chelsea. He's not used right. I mean, he cannot do a back three, but and a back four. Say again, mate.
I agree. Back four, he's comfortable.
He's comfortable in a back four. Comfortable. And I know people's going to laugh at us. I know people's going to say I'm talking crap, but I followed this guy for 7 seasons at Napoli, and I know Tony doesn't rate him at all, Maisy, at all whatsoever. I was on holiday in Turkey, and YouTube was going on with him saying that he's crap. And then he said, don't let John hear this.
I just love the madness behind Chelsea's defence. They had the perfect back three defender in Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger goes to Real Madrid, so you'd think naturally they're going to stick with a manager who plays a back three. You sign a centre-back that plays in a back three comfortably. No, they go and sign a player who plays back four exclusively, and it completely shatters their defence. It's the most typical Chelsea thing.
Exactly. I mean, Chelsea's wasted a lot of money. Look at what's his name? Lukaku. They spent 96 mil for Inter Milan. Inter takes back on the season on loan. Now they got this guy for Leipzig as well. Nkutu. Yeah,
I'm not happy about that one.
What? They actually signed him?
Yeah, Nkuku's joining them in the summer next year.
That was a bad miss from Marcus Rashford, though, wasn't it? Replaying it back.
Awful.
Yeah, you should have checked Ward, in my opinion, or taken a quicker touch. I think he was too hesitant in his run.
I agree. I think he's given the ball away a few times. I think he's been quite sloppy in the first 30 minutes of this game.
Is Henderson playing in the midfield, or is he playing at right back? Because that seems to be where he's playing frequently.
God knows where he's playing. I can't make his formation. He probably doesn't know where he's playing himself.
Last 2 times he's touched the ball, he's been in the right back position. That's what I'm like, what the hell's going on?
He's dozy as hell.
He's crap, isn't he? He's crap.
I do like some of the players on both sides. I think there's some very interesting options in either team, but like obviously for Wales, the likes of Bale, and I like Harry Wilson. I think Nico Williams is decent, and even though he's a bit of a psychopath, I do like Ethan Ampadu, but I think he's the Welsh weakness because he's temperament. And obviously in the England team, obviously like Rashford, Shaw. I really do like Jude Bellingham. I like Calvin Phillips, who's sadly not playing. I don't mind Kyle Walker, and I appreciate Jordan Pickford a lot more, to be honest. I think he's good, and I like watching Foden play, even though he's a City clown.
Lovely through ball by Harry Kane, straight to Rashford. He should have gone left a bit, left on his right, and then we 1-0 England. But that is the thing. Callum Wilson not missed that, by the way.
Nah, not a chance.
Yeah.
Do you know Callum Wilson? Do you like call me crazy? But say, for example, we didn't start Bellingham, we could have had like a centre forward behind Harry Kane. Could Callum Wilson have played there? And then we could have had that bit more attacking option. What do you think about that, John?
I think Callum Wilson will have to play up front. I mean, he can't play a 10, he has to be up front. He does work hard for the team. He comes in and he lays the ball off, set that sort of thing. But he's not a greedy player. He's a unselfish player.
Very selfless, isn't he?
And I do like his work rate as well. In shots, England just gone past post-goal kick. And the thing is, right, it's just, Harry Kane's the 10 role. Me, personally, I would have arrested him. I would have arrested Harry Kane tonight because he doesn't look right. But I would have gave Wilson the goal as well. But then again, you know what Southgate does? He picks his fullbacks again. He doesn't pick players like Wilson. He doesn't pick like Maddison, even if he was fit. Do you know what I mean? But look, the one thing I will say to you, right? I mean, he could have changed it up tonight. He could have done something different, but that's not Southgate.
He did do something different. He played Dozy Henderson.
Yeah.
Question for you both. In the sense of it, in terms of like just the game against Wales, necessarily you don't have to match them like 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, but if you were to play a front two system, got a little bit more control with the ball with a back three, would you play Harry Kane as like the further advanced striker where he doesn't have to move around as much? He can just stay around the box, but use Callum Wilson's movement to drop off him and still have the likes of like Foden as the number 10. You could have like maybe Kyle Walker either as a right wing back or right centre back, and then you've got Luke Shaw on the left flank.
That could have been an option, really. I think for me, if I was going to have two strikers up front, it would definitely be Wilson and Kane. And I would say to Kane, stay where the hell you are, do not move. I think the thing is with Callum Wilson, what I do like about him as a player, he's also a creator as well as a receiver and a scorer. He can do a lot of things into that squad. And I know John will have a lot more of a good perspective of Callum Wilson than I do with Callum Wilson playing for Newcastle. But what's your take on that as well, John?
You mean like playing different positions, like a 10 role maybe? So would you
like
say
two at the top, and then
two.
Yeah, two at the top.
In a 3-5-2. You're going to play two at top. I'd rather play 4-4-2 or a diamond formation, like one holding, one place at 10 role, like a 4-1-2-1-2. I would not have three centre backs.
That formation, John. Well, I can't get into that formation.
If you've got a players to do it, you've got a players to do it. But for me, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see England play a back three. No. I really don't. I don't, because to me that's been negative right away. You know, but
I think it depends. It depends on how he does it.
3-4-1-2. Yeah, it depends. If you've got the personnel as well to do it. But who's going to be a 10? It has to be Foden's the 10, and he has to.
I think he's by far. Yeah, he's your best number 10 for me. I actually like the suggestion of playing a diamond, like the way you've got it, because ideally, in my opinion, if England were to do a diamond, their best four was Calvin Phillips at the base of the midfield.
Yeah,
I'd play Jude Bellingham. I'd play Jude Bellingham on the right hand side, in the more attacking version of like the 8 role. I'd play Declan Rice beside him. I think Declan Rice, just to shut up shop, he can still go forward, but he's defensively not too bad. I'd play him on that as the other 8, and then I'd play Foden in the 10, and then Mason Mount off the bench because that's probably more suited to him.
That's a fair shout. That's a fair shout, mate. That really is. There's options there,
especially in a diamond system. Like, you only realistically need the width from your two wing backs, and if you've got Luke Shaw and Kyle Walker, for example, as your wing backs in this game, you've got pace there and you've got creativity. We don't, and they know they can defend.
Yeah. I have to agree there, mate.
I like Coffee said the Wales team should wear Santa hats to bring the festive spirit of Christmas. And Henry's gone for, it said it's 0-0 at the moment with Iran versus USA. Coffee said Gareth Bale's hair does look like a Santa's hat. Just needs to red and white.
Oh, brilliant. I like Tom. He's a funny lad. He's a funny and he's a great guy. I love him, we tell him that.
I applaud that. That was funny.
Where can England be got at? Oh, where can England be got at? Jordan Henderson.
The space in between Henderson. The space in between Henderson and Harry Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Both are slower than a pensioner.
Yeah, but as much as I've criticised Harry Maguire, and
he's played well.
Like, he's a good player for England. As much as I have criticised him for the last 2 years, he's played well for England. He doesn't really have many bad games for England, minus that Germany game where Germany couldn't win against us 3-3. But yeah, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
No, but you're right though. Should have won, but you're right. That's the thing though, like, he can be got at for his pace, but he does read the game well. It's just if he had the pace to match how well he is at reading the game, he would be a far better, more reliable player that teams would actually want. Probably less criticised as well, maybe. But
yeah. I have a question for you both, and it's regarding our corners and set pieces into the box. And I'm going to go with John for this one first. Do you think we should really change this up? Because I feel like in a way we're getting so predictable of where we're pinging the ball in, like with Harry Maguire.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. Because it's just the same England. It's just the same England. I want to see different things. So I want to see something different. I want to see what's going to get us HB seats. Thinking, wow, never seen this before. But it's just the same England. I watched the French play the other day. They were fantastic. Yeah. Brazil, they change it up as well.
Oh, you dozy idiot.
Germany were the same as well. On you go, Maisy, sorry.
On you go.
No, go ahead. I was just calling Henderson a dozy idiot.
I was just saying, I agree with John there about changing it up. Like, teams change up. Like, the Germans usually go with Kimmich on the set pieces for if it's into the box, but after the failed attempt, it was immediately switched to say David Raum and all that from the corners. So if you've got multiple options to take a set piece where it really can determine the future of your game, you should, because I do agree. I think these are becoming very predictable. You can't afford that in this tournament. And
there's a few players who's good in the air. Harry Kane's good in the air. Declan Rice is also good in the air as well. And we've got a few players who's able to do corners and set pieces. Phil Foden can, Mason Mount can, Kyle Walker, Luke Shaw. So this is Trippier. There's a range of different players who can do that.
Here's a question.
Go on.
Sorry, on you go, John. I was actually just
I was just saying. You said then, mate. He's got the heights for set pieces. Yeah, cool. You got Declan Rice for 6'1", Harry Maguire 6'4". You got Jude Bellingham 6'1". We got big players in there, right? We got big players in there as well, But we're just fast becoming like a hoofball, under from Southgate. If Eddie Howe was manager of England, I tell you what, the football would be so exciting, beautiful to watch. Do you know what I mean? And Eddie Howe would not have picked all of these England players. He just wouldn't. There's just no way. But the one thing I'm going to say, whoever's going to be our next manager of England, right, we have to play open attacking football. Just get us excited. We're not excited at all by this lot. Do you know what I mean? It's just the game. Wales has been poor, right? But England had that chance as well. But other than that, I can't think of any good chances in this game. We played 21 minutes gone. I can't think of the best chance we've had, apart from Rashford. But England, come on. They play attacking football for their clubs. But Southgate's just let them play with the handbrakes on, yeah? Sorry.
No, I agree. This is why I was saying, because I said the other day and I got told, I was trolling because I was defending Raheem Sterling more than Harry Kane, but this proves
that was on my channel, wasn't it?
Aye. But I was like, Harry Kane gets you goals and all that, but England's best player the past, 4 or 5 years was Raheem Sterling for a reason. At times where he can go hot and cold, but he is very dynamic. Like, he would certainly give you more options, especially when breaking at defences. But in terms of like set pieces as well, there's one thing that like interests me. When you are shooting on goal, for example, like from a direct position from the box, when Kieran Trippier's not playing, why is Harry Kane not on those free kicks? I've seen him hit free kicks before and he's scored a few. Why is he never taking any? I've always wondered that.
Because he probably wants to be he wants to probably be received rather than be a receiver.
So take the rebound.
Exactly.
It's a shame.
I was 2.5 minutes behind you guys, but now I'm on a different channel and I'm 18 seconds ahead of you guys. So.
Oh, I'm dead on 20. I'm on 25 minutes 4 seconds.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, fab.
I'm on 23:30, so no surprise. I'm just watching the Welsh down.
Henry said, "Where are the goals coming from in this lineup?"
That's a good question, Henry. Good question. I can't think of it. He needs to change up in the second half because at the minute, I mean, Wales are just asking the questions. Well, we was asking the questions, it's just soaking it up, and we just can't come up with the answers. Unfortunately, do you know what I mean? Even the Penguin and the Black and White's got more answers than this team. I'm telling you.
What about you, Reece? I have no clue.
I think the only goals you're really going to see are coming from the defences at the minute. I think like that. Probably a corner like delivery in, give or take, maybe just out of the luck of it. But I don't realistically see a lot coming unless teams are more advanced in the second half. I think England are doing the one thing as well that they did, funnily enough, they did against us last year at the Euros, referencing Scotland in this sense. You're showing Wales too much respect with the respect.
You're right, Reece. They're showing too much respect. We should be going out there and rolling in sides. We got good players there, and they're just playing with the handbrakes on. You know what I mean? I tell you what, if we play France, right? We play France like this. He's gonna play a back three. He's gonna play a 3-5-2, and you know why? Because we are scared. We're just playing in France's hands because France will break any formation. Tuchemeni will break it. Yeah. I mean, Olivier Giroud.
Hernandez on the left wing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not beat France because France are years ahead of us, guys. And I'm sorry, but we'll never beat France with this team. We won't because France will just break our system. And Gareth Southgate just can't come with the answers. Do you know what I mean?
Is there still a scenario where you can finish second? Because I'm pretty sure the Dutch won their group tonight, didn't they?
Yeah. If we finish second,
I think that's another team you don't want to. That's another team you want to avoid, in my opinion.
Exactly. I mean, if Iran wins their group, if they beat USA and we come second, we don't win this game. We play Holland. Are we going to beat Holland? We got to play at 3 o'clock as well in the heat.
If you want to get put to sleep, you would want to play Holland. That's my problem. We've got two boring defensive football teams playing against each other.
I think if you were to play Holland, though, I think says a lot about Van Gaal, but I think if you were to play Holland in the next round, I think Van Gaal would change his approach just a little bit. He'll actually put those attacking players more on your defence, especially the likes of Gakpo and Memphis. He'll change it up a little bit where you're like, okay, where's the change gone from controlled, slow but possession football where we create very little chances but are very efficient to Jesus, where did this pace come from? I genuinely think that's what Van Gaal would do. Because you know what he's like? The guy's mental.
Yeah, you're right. You look at England, you look at our formation and thinking, wow, this England team's not good. I mean, they didn't. Sven Botman's not even in the 26. And to be honest with you guys, I'm glad it's not in the World Cup because that benefit us next game.
Yeah.
I already know who I'd take off at halftime. I've literally watched this game 28 minutes. I already know who won off.
Henderson.
And Rashford.
Get Callum Wilson on. Get Callum Wilson on.
You know what, though? Rashford has shown in this game why Ten Hag uses him as a false nine.
That's true, actually.
Don't get it.
Because all he does is run into defenders. And this is what annoyed me when he was under Solskjaer, when he was under Ralph, when he was under Louis van Gaal, when he was under Jose Mourinho, he runs into defenders and it annoys me. He gives the ball away so cheaply when he's on the wing. Whereas I think with Ten Hag, he can see that and he's put him up front so he can prevent that.
Yeah, avoid the run into a brick wall situation.
Yeah.
I can see why he come off though.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
You know about the question again? I was looking at this.
About Rashford. About Rashford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, Nuno's a good player, but you're right. He runs into the brick walls, and then that's a frustrating thing for you guys to know what I mean. I mean, you watch him a lot, sort of thing, yeah. But it just doesn't change direction, sort of thing. He doesn't have a plan B. It's always the same mark as Rashford. Don't get us wrong. When he's clear on goal, he's a canny finisher. Not just now he wasn't, but he needs to change it up as well. Try something different. It's just so predictable at the moment, guys. It's a shame because I do like Rashford, but it's a shame.
Yeah.
I think if you had more to his game, he would be such a fantastic attacking player.
Again, he's done it literally again.
Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. When Rashford's on the ball now, that's been given away. Oh, is that Foden? Why did he not cross it in his right foot? He just checked back and used his left foot.
And
I don't think he's overly confident on his right, is he? That's just the problem.
I'll be sent off. Second half. I'm talking about Dan James here. I hope Dan James gets sent off in this game just for the joys.
Well, he's already been booked, by the way. What a poor cross! What an awful cross, Harry Maguire, man.
We shouldn't even be having to rely on Harry Maguire to cross.
I know. He gets forward and then he crosses it in the box. Who
is actually on your bench tonight, by the way? Like, serious question.
I will get that.
That's some awful goals.
Bukayo Saka, Callum Wilson, Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, Conor Gallagher, James Maddison, Calvin Phillips, Mason Mount, Conor Coder, Eric Dyer, Kieran Trippier, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Ramsey, Nick Pope, Ben White is ill. So, yeah.
Right. Can I see how you are set up again, sorry?
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I'd make 3 changes personally right now. I'd make 3 changes.
Henderson,
yeah.
Rashford.
Yeah, and I would also, this might come as a shock to you, but I would actually take off John Stones.
For who, Eric Dyer?
No.
Don't say Eric Dyer.
Don't say it.
No. I would go a little bit. I'd go a little bit more unpredictable, which is something Gareth Southgate couldn't do in his life. I put Kyle Walker and Harry Maguire as the back 2. I put Kieran Trippier on a right back, so you've got a more attack-minded fullback, and then I'd play Bukayo Saka on the right wing. I put Foden back into properly in the number 10 role, and then I would also, so that's 2 substitutions, so that's Henderson and Stones off, and then the last one I'd probably bring on is probably Sterling, because you need Sterling, to be honest. I don't think he's our good team without him personally. Calvin Phillips maybe towards the end of the second half because he's got very good control of the ball at his feet. But personally, that's what I'd go with. I'd bring on Sterling, Trippier, and Bukayo Saka.
Yeah,
what would you do, John? What substitutions would you make?
If I had my way, watching this first half, I'd change the whole lot of them. I really would. But if you think about it, I keep falling on the pitch. For me, Henderson, I'd get him off. Henderson, Rashford, and to be honest with you, I'd take Kane off as well and rest him for the last 16. Bring on Callum Wilson, bring on Saka, and take off Henderson, right? And just get on an attacker midfielder and just go back to a 4-3-3 and really have a go. Do you know what I mean?
Could work.
I do think as the 10, I can see why he doesn't play as a 10 Bellingham because he's been non-existent in this game. I don't even think I've hardly seen him have any touches.
I don't think he's actually getting the ball played to him, do you? I don't think anyone's actually physically tried to play the ball to him.
No. So I'd actually move him back to the 8 in the pivot with Rice move Foden into the middle. I'd actually put Mason Mount on the right-hand side just because of his crossing ability. And he plays as a right winger.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Maisy.
And then I would take... so that's going to be taken off Jordan Henderson. I'd then take off Marcus Rashford. Probably put on... you know what? I actually might even put on Jack Grealish.
That's a first shout. That's a brilliant shout.
Because as much as Jack Grealish, he hasn't been on good scoring form, he wins his fouls quite far up the pitch. And I think them set pieces are going to maybe even be the difference between us and Wales at this moment in time.
Yeah. He needs to change it up, Maisy. You're absolutely right. He needs to change it up because this game has put us into sleep. I'd rather have play a quiz game with you twos as well. Rather do that. Do you know what I mean? But
no, I totally agree with you. I think there's some options you can take. I think Wales will be the first to react, though.
I must be honest, it's a good job I'm not jet lagged anymore. Ravi, how does England add more pace? I think we've already basically discussed that, haven't we, to be honest, with our substitutes that we've suggested.
I don't think I don't think England necessarily need to add more pace. I think England just need to add more players that are more smarter with their positioning. Like, if you've got more intelligent players in the pitch for your positioning, you're going to do more. You're going to do more than your opposition. So
this sounds pretty horrible, but I'm kind of glad that Nico Williams is off.
Yeah,
he is by far the best
player.
defender.
He's their best player, Nico Williams.
By a country mile.
So I'm kind of glad he's off. It makes me feel better.
Decent change though, Connor Roberts though. He does have pace.
It's a shot. It's a free kick. I thought it's going to be a shot in then for the minute, peeps. Yeah,
it's funny though when you look at him.
Oh, is that a clash there? Let's have a look. Clash of hits there between two Wales players. Well,
looks like the fine continue play, aren't they? Why has it been a free kick to Wales? They injured themselves.
I think it might have just been a collision between both, and it was just passed on as a foul. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
either way, it doesn't really matter. They've not done anything.
Even my mum is watching the game downstairs, I think, and she can't be happy at all. Do you know what I mean? Oh man!
I done a watch along with Luca for the England game last time, and my dad was watching it downstairs as well as I was watching it upstairs. Come on, Rashford! Shoot!
That's over the bar.
Yeah, Foden.
What's the current attempts per game between both sides, Maisy?
I'll see if I can find it.
Just one attempt on goal by the looks of it, guys.
So, as it stands, Wales has had 0 shots, 0 on target, 24% possession. England has had 4 shots, 1 on target, 76% possession.
It's the thing the other day where when you
like
look at
Wales versus Iran.
Yeah. It's another example as well. Is like, even though they got humiliated, but we might see it happen. Who knows? This is carbon copy of the Argentina versus Saudi Arabia game, except the lesser quality team hasn't scored yet. Like, Argentina had all the possession against Saudi Arabia, couldn't do anything. They were being forced to work even harder. They didn't do the job. Wales are doing that to you guys, but the only difference is Wales aren't causing too many issues, whereas like you guys have caused some problems. You just can't get that breakthrough. If you get the breakthrough, you should be okay. But
I'll accept a goal off Harry Maguire's bum at this point.
I think if this game stays 0-0 towards maybe the 60-65 minute mark.
It's close. Good effort, Marcus. Good effort.
And it was an overhead one and all.
It was. And he was onside as well. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have done an overhead kick. I think you should have allowed it to land on the floor and then done it through that way. It isn't about having the nice stylish goal. It's just get the ball in the back of the net, man.
Exactly. Don't go for fancy. Don't be so fancy in this game. Just get a goal in.
It's like every player wants to try and outmatch Olivier Giroud when it comes to a special goal because he's the only one that does it properly. Even Richarlison even copied him.
He's 36 as well, but he's 35-year-old, 35, 36.
And he's still so amazing.
He is class. I tell you what,
I hope he breaks that France record just to stick it to Arsenal and Arsenal fans and Henry fans.
Into the attack there. Costco's there. Oh, it's a corner. What was that? Why did you not play it through the middle, man?
And you know what I was going to say about Giroud is, for me, he's one of the most underrated strikers in football today. And two, I think he's one of the most unselfish strikers as well. And the thing is about Olivier Giroud, he is very happy just to come off the bench to benefit the team.
Oh yeah, like he knows his days of being an undisputed starter are done, but he knows that his confidence
he's always been someone who's come off the bench, like ever since he's been at Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. I just love the fact that there was you know what football Twitter and all that's like when it's full of sheep and all that and gullible folk, and they're saying Mbappe's the reason that France won the World Cup a couple of years ago. I was like Olivier Giroud didn't score a single goal and he was France's best player to the final. I mean, Mbappe's a good player, but there's a clear difference.
Do you think Mbappe, I mean, not my opinion, do you think Mbappe is still a world-class player or do you think he's overrated? Because I think he's class.
I think he's a very good player, but I think it's, like the whole thing with world-class, I don't know what you think, Maze, but I think it's far, I can understand how amazing Mbappe is considering what he's done, but to just call him world-class so quickly, I'm just not sure, I think he's a phenomenal talent, though. I think he's exquisite to watch.
He needs to do it in another league for me.
I'm not going to call him world class yet, but he is one of those players you bet your life on.
1-0 USA. Yeah.
Oh.
1-0 USA.
That push on us now. We've got to get a goal. We've got to win this game.
Why can't Iran just do one good thing? I want them to go through because of their manager. I don't care about their team. Well, actually, and the fact that if they go through and I get at the Americans' expense, the Americans will go raging.
John, I like coffee pot. I included John Sinclair as a midfielder alongside Bruno and Joe Linton in Newcastle's best ever starting 11, with TTR, Paddle and PD in the other positions and Alex Stato as a manager.
That is hilarious.
Wow. I've got to clap him for that, man. Well done. Thank you.
I wanted to ask John, because I know this is going off like England related, but I wanted to know what is going on with Juventus.
Oh yes.
No, this is not me like digging. I just want to know what's going on. Like the whole board resigning and people's talking about him playing in Serie B and.
John won't like this. I'm just going to tell him now. There's reports that from Juventus within it, there's £200 million there's £200 million losses that have not yet been reported by the club. That's going around by credible Italian journalists. Thought I'd let you know that.
I tell you what, that's not good at all whatsoever. That is not great. And you know what it is, right? They need to fix up very, 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 very quickly. Otherwise, they could be heading to Serie B first season there. Do you know what I mean? And then
what place are they in? Is it because the financial did get relegated?
Again. Yeah, they got relegated back in 2006-07.
Wasn't that because of cheating? Was it
the Calciopoli scandal? Yeah.
Because AC Milan was the exact same.
That's right.
Well, yeah, they were. And
Roma,
Juve, Genoa, Fiorentina, and there's one more. There's Juve,
you know
Genoa,
what? Fair play to that league. They've actually got the balls to actually punish teams, which is something the Premier League could never do.
They tried to cheat. As much as I hate their guts, they tried to cheat Inter Milan out of that as well. But as much as Inter Milan winning trophies or Juventus winning trophies makes me sick, the fact that they at least proved the fact that Inter Milan actually had nothing to do with it just shows. The only thing I do feel sorry for is the likes of Fabio Capello or the players who actually had nothing to do with it. It was the president and the behind the scenes who were actually paying off the referees. That's how we got to the Champions League and eventually won it. Is we did pay off, but it was the ownership. So, but his players had like 2 titles taken off them, which wasn't really fair. But the fact that
It's fair.
the fact that true, the board, yeah. But what's funny about Juventus is when Juventus went into Serie B, they had a minus 15 point deduction, and they still won Serie B unbeaten.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, they lost to Spezia at home. By the way, they lost to Spezia at home.
Did Spezia you lost to? I thought you went unbeaten.
No, they lost to Spezia. It was going back to 2006-07 season or that way. They got beat off Spezia. They definitely got beat off Spezia. That was at home, I think, and away.
Was Claudio Ranieri given the job when you got back to Serie A? Or was he the Serie B manager?
Did it Deschamps.
Deschamps. I know Ranieri did manage it as well, which is absolutely mental.
I know.
I like coffee then. Is there any Juventus players, John, you like at Newcastle?
Plenty. Loads. I mean, I'll take a couple. I'd definitely take Vlahovic as well up front.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Costa, yeah. There's a few there as well. I'll take as well. Oh, my God. I mean, Chesney, perhaps, in goal. I think that's a backup to Netball. Yeah.
You know who I'd actually like to see in the Premier League as well? Just because it would wind up Chelsea fans. I'd like to see Juan Cuadrado come back to the Premier League and have a second chance.
Yeah, I would. I think he's a decent player. He's always been decent. Always been decent.
Just sad it didn't work at Chelsea because he's a good player, but mind you, it's Chelsea. They love destroying good players.
Hope so, Ravi. That's all I'm gonna say. Hope so.
I think they'll be okay.
You got Rabiot as well. Could be on the way. He's out of contract. I got Angel Di Maria as well. He's 35, but I wouldn't have him. Maisy, he's on loan from Everton as well. Look at Weston McKennie, I'd take in the midfield, 100%. Federico Chiesa, I'd take as well. Bremer, the defender, I think he do well in the Premier League. Milik plays on loan from Marseille. And Kostic, left wing. I tell you what, we're definitely looking for a left back. That guy is sick. The guy is sick. He's a fantastic player, him. He really,
you know who actually would be interesting to see in the Premier League? Just because of the fact that just what he is like as a player. You mentioned him literally a minute and a half ago. Maisy. Why he did not get a chance at Everton under Carlo Ancelotti made no sense to me. I love Maisy, even though he plays for Juventus. I think he's a fantastic young player. Should be the main striker for Italy, but he doesn't get that chance. But I just love how dynamic he is with and without the ball. He's got such good pace. He's got good control of the ball. He knows how to finish as well. He had a very good record coming off in his final season at Juventus off the bench. I think was it 6 or 7 goals in his last 10 games, something like that. It was really good numbers. But then after that, he just never got anything. It's a shame, really. I think he's very underrated, Maisy. I think Everton are stupid not actually keeping him because it would have made a difference in their team.
I totally agree, mate. I totally agree 110% because he won't give him a proper chance. And you know what it is? I take him all day long at Newcastle. Yeah. Not for a swap deal, but I take him up front and I think he'd be decent. And I do look at Carlo Jorge as well, Brazilian. He's playing in Serie A. He's playing in Serie A Chi for Juve under 23.
Ooh, good save there by Danny Ward. Oh!
I like the look at him.
That was off John Stones as well. I wouldn't. I'm literally just clutching at straws. Did he go over the line? No, he didn't. He didn't. Do you know what, though? England should be taking advantage knowing that Wales is using their backup goalkeeper. I know, sorry, Renee, using the chat, but Danny Ward is crap.
I think he was okay though in their games to actually qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, but
I'm not 100% sure.
At Leicester, he's been crap.
How many goals he conceded?
What, for Leicester?
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Is he the Leicester number 1 though? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he is Leicester's number 1 now. Kasper Schmeichel's gone.
I knew I thought they had brought somebody in. I know they signed some ridiculous Cardiff goalkeeper, but I wasn't sure.
They've scored 25 goals and they've conceded 25 goals.
Oh, so goal difference is 0. Oh, okay, yeah, take advantage then.
It's a throw into Wales, by the way. It's just a note going into the last minute of the first half.
A lot of players are getting knocks or injuries though. Like this is slowing the game down quite a lot. Like disrupting the play. Can't be helped though. The injuries happen, but it is ridiculous.
Well, Wales will have 2.5 weeks to rest up before the season starts again.
Oh my days, that was close from Wales. Going for the top corner, Joe Allen.
Here's a question. Here's a question for you. In the event that, because I think Spain do it really well, but obviously they failed the other night. In terms of how they play with a 4-3-3, they don't they use one number 10 as a winger, and then they use a natural winger. Would you play 4-3-3 and put Phil Foden on the left like he does for City, and then have, say, Bukayo Saka on the right, flanked Harry Kane?
Yeah.
100%. But Gareth Southgate won't play that. They won't play that way. Southgate's defensive manager, though. That's the thing, Reece. He's the defensive manager. That's the problem. We need an attacking manager that's going to come in and take over Gareth Southgate, right? ASAP. Not Eddie Howe, by the way.
I think Tuchel gets the job.
I wouldn't put it past it, though.
The Group B, as it stands, with USA scoring the first goal, England remain in first place with a goal difference of 4. USA is in second with a goal difference of 1. Iran is in third with a goal difference of -3. And Wales, on a goal difference in fourth place with -2. And it is half-time now. I will give the stats for you. Half-time goals, no. Possession, England has had 74.1% possession compared to Wales 25.9% possession. England has had 9 shots compared to Wales' 2 shots. England has had 2 shots on target compared to Wales 0 shots on target. Corners 1, England 4, Wales none. John, what do you think of this game for you so far?
It's just put us to sleep. I'd rather have a chat, so if we'd rather do a quiz show, to be honest with you, because this game...
horrible quizzes. I do like it.
But I'm going to get 2... In future, to ask the question, I'll get 2 chances, yeah? Not one.
I give you a chance per one in this last quiz.
Yeah, you did.
Lucky for some.
Yeah, but you didn't do the Champions League quiz. You didn't arrange anything with me, so that's your fault.
You could have asked.
I did ask. I asked it several times. And you went, I will do it once kit sponsors went.
Aye. And then you just...
Yeah, because no one wanted to do them.
I'll do it right now.
No,
it's
I need time to prep.
But I only get 1 chance for you, don't I, Maisy? Really, just the 1. Not 2.
Compared to the Premier League quiz, you had chances.
I did.
I'm not even going to
discuss. I didn't take them, did I? Didn't take them.
I'm not even going to discuss your Premier League quizzes, Maze. No, after what you done to me. Nah, I'm not. What you did to me last time was criminal.
It wasn't just you, was it?
Well, I got the worst of it. I got 2 of those ridiculous questions that nobody would ever want to get near in their life.
But everyone still got them.
How many total goals were scored in a single season? 30 seconds on the clock, trying to think.
Well, it's a guessing game.
Aye, with no fair chance of anyone getting that. There was even it was even worse, and this is what I found really funny. It was either the person after me or 2 people on, where you were like, if you can get close, I'll give you the point. No, I had to get it bang on. See, that was criminal.
No, it's not criminal, because you weren't even close.
What do you expect?
That's your fault. Should have done your research. But, yeah. John, what have you thought of this first half?
What do I think of the first half?
Yeah, what have you thought of the first half?
Painful. Absolutely painful. Put us to sleep. And I know what it is, right? I mean, you look at the players they're on sure, right? They've been winning titles. They've been competing Champions League, and they cannot compete in the World Cup. Yeah. Do they really want to be here? I don't know, but it's down to Gareth Southgate. I'm not going to blame the players, but I've said it so many times. They're just playing with the handbrake on, and that's down to one man. Do you know what I mean? Let them express themselves. Let them have a go. You know, if we get beat, right, but give it a right go, right, like 10 shots on targets, 10 shots, goal attempts, whatever, and we show a roll, and we get beaten in the 95th minute, it'll be a kick in the teeth for us, but we give it a right go. I could walk away with a head on high. We gave him a game. If we didn't give him a chance, we gave him a hell of a game. But no, he's going to get slated for this, Southgate, and rightly so, because one thing I'm going to say, right, I don't want to see this guy ever manage England again after this tournament. I want a new manager in. I want a new era. Do you know what I mean?
Who would you have then? Because Nick said the same thing in my preview on the other day. Who would you have?
Maisy, perhaps. With Reece as number 2.
You know what? I actually don't.
I'm taking that job.
Hey!
I don't want Reece as my number 2.
But who's out there though?
Because I tactically outwork you, Maisy. That's why.
Wow. I tell you what though, there's no one. Eddie Howe wouldn't take it. I mean, I'd be disappointed if he did take the job. You know what I mean? Who are we gonna get though? Your mate, Diego. I'd take Diego Simeone.
Good shout. I think he's need to go. I think he's need to go away from just the. I know it's the old adage that it should be somebody from your
to show you both.
Manager.
Can I show you something? What I made back in what date was it? This was before I even know yous, I think. There you go.
Okay.
Yes? No?
Yes.
I have a slight issue. One, well, actually, 2 issues. One, it's the team you'd be managing, and 2, I don't like you in a waistcoat. I'd like to see you in a full-on suit. I'd see you in a full-on suit jacket. Then we're talking. But
I like this. I like the waistcoat.
You're not a waistcoat wanker, though.
I like waistcoats.
I'm starting to lose faith.
Please.
Reece, from a neutral point of view, tell me what you thought of this game.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought the game, in spells, was actually quite flat. I thought, in terms of the possession, England had pretty much all the possession, but they've done nothing to suggest that they were going to score. Really, I mean, the only clear chance you've had was probably the Marcus Rashford attempt. It was a good opportunity, but I do think he was hesitant on his run. I think he'd been a little bit more sharper, a bit more a yard on it. I think he would have just taken the opportunity and he may have scored. I also think Wales obviously they've had no shots themselves, but they haven't done anything for me to suggest that they are going to score either. I think both teams are trying to tactically work each other, which is fine, but you can tell from here the quality that the England team does have from back to front. This game, if England could turn up in this game would have been over in the first half if they knew how to actually attack the Welsh defence, in my opinion. But overall, I think it's been fairly flat at times, but it's been good in the sense that both teams are at least getting stuck into each other rather than twiddling their thumbs and just playing it safe.
Yeah, I agree. Shocking first half, honestly. Ravi, thoughts on Foden? I actually rate this kid. I've rated this kid since, I would say, once lockdown ended, and then, do you know when we brought they come back on the Premier League? That's when I started to rate Phil Foden. I think that's when we started to see the best out of Phil Foden. And I think
in 2020?
Yeah, and I think for me, he's probably our best midfielder. But he needs to be playing more games. I don't think we're getting the best out of Phil Foden on the right-hand side. He's very hesitant using his right foot. And you're seeing it. It's a bit like how I watch Man United women with Leah Gollan. When she uses the right foot, she's hesitant. So then she moves on to her left. And then she's getting dispossessed. That's exactly what Phil Foden is doing on this right-hand side for England. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, John, on Foden?
I think he's trying to make things happen in the day, but he's not getting enough of the ball, isn't he? Sort of thing. So, like I said in the first half, give him the ball and then see what he does. Do you know what I mean? Because he's the one who can make things happen. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I will say, right? I mean, what odds will Southgate take him off and bring on another defensive player? I will be absolutely furious there because he's trying his best. I mean, you've got to have as much attacking players on the pitch. Jack Grealish, come on, get him on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could do something, yeah? Saka, he could do something. Take off Harry Kane, because he didn't do that much today, didn't he? Everyone's hyping him up, yeah? Bring on Callum Wilson. Try something different, Gareth. Do you know what I mean? For goodness sake, right? It's just the same England that we see game in and game out, yeah? I want to see something different. I want to see changes in the second half, yeah? You know, because he's going to come out in the second half, right, with the same player, the same thing every single time. And I think the guys in the room is just sick of it. Do you know what I mean? How weird, man. Come on. I mean, just try something different. Give us something new. Just thinking, whoa, we're fine with this. Do you know what I mean? We could talk about it and just say, why have we not seen this before? This is different, which is cool. But I tell you what, this manager, he needs to go and he needs to get out because at the end of the day, I agree with Nick there, lacking vision. This guy is a disgrace, Southgate, by the way, yeah? God. Sorry, but I mean, I'm so passionate. I want to see England do well, the nation do well. But the bottom line is, right, I'm not being funny, right, but all the other teams in the competition are attacking. They're giving it a right go, yeah? Even South Korea, they fought back for 2-0 to get beat. Ghana's playing better than us. South Korea's playing better than us, yeah? We're just so static in our own way. And I'm sorry for going on, people, but, you know.
No, I think you're right.
Difference. Because at the end of the day, I'm bored. I do not want to go to Wembley and pay 60, 75 quid for a ticket while this manager's in charge. I don't want to see that, yeah? And another thing is as well, all right, I want to see players picked on form. Right? Not the same Jossie every single time, you know. I mean, come on, man. Just give us something different, please. Sorry about me rant, man.
Oh, it's okay. Don't need to
sorry,
apologise, John. You are spot on, honestly, you are. Before we move on
in the chat.
Yeah. But what about you, Reece, in terms of Foden, before we move on with the comments?
I was going to say, I sent you as well. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but I sent you.
I've just seen it. I'll put it on the thing once with my comments.
Yeah, they're about to show me the American goal as well. In terms of the Foden, I think Foden is like top two like the English players. I think the only other one for me is Bellingham. Really, like Kane's up there. Obviously, is one of the best. But in terms of exciting like English talents, like it's 100% him for me. But in terms of overall, like how he weaves about with his feet is the key for both for City and for England. It's about how he controls the ball. I don't think Gareth Southgate knows how to use Foden to his strength. In a way, though, you sort of did see it the Euros last year. Like the amount of times I saw England fans
as a sub,
right winger.
He wouldn't be no, because it was the Denmark game. Foden came on as a substitute, but he got put on the left.
Yeah, but I also remember
and he was a right winger in the group stages until Bukayo Saka broke in,
which was stupid. I mean, not because of Bukayo Saka. I'm just saying it's stupid. Like the fact that I actually thought that was the right lineup for England. The problem is you just weren't actually pushing forward enough. You were quite conservative, especially against Croatia. I mean, that says all. In Scotland game as well. Like purely, like you didn't do anything except hit the post. Like I'm just looking at it from that sense where I actually think the dynamic three you had behind Kane actually was working. Found Foden on the right, Mount in the middle, and then you had Sterling on the left. But I actually think if you had swapped them two around, you put Mount on the right, you had that more right sided where he can just cut, he can just deliver the ball and rather than having to cut in and swerve, which Foden has to do a lot. When Foden on the left, he's got the advantage where he can turn on his left foot. It's easy. And then through the middle, he can use either foot. I think if you really want to get the best out of either team, of either player, you've got to use Foden through that middle position. At least for Foden, like, he's comfortable through the middle. He's confident on the left. I think if you put him on the right, he looks a little bit inhibited, and he does go missing. But through the middle on the left, he is such a dangerous player, especially with Bellingham behind him as well, making those driving runs. Bellingham, it's why I said before the start of the tournament that the two best young central midfield players in the tournament, now he's been used as a 10, is Musiala and Bellingham. Like I said it before the tournament started, because of how they play behind their traditional number 10. It's how they come forward, how they carry the ball, how they move in and out of possession. If you can find that perfect link between Foden and Bellingham, I said it before the start of the tournament, you've got something that generally I don't want to see, and that's a chance of winning the tournament. If you actually find a way to connect those two together. But Southgate, he's got a brain the size of a pea, he ain't going to do it. So that's where you are physically inhibited. I think Foden's outstanding. I think he's top 3 midfielders in the Premier League for his age. But I would say maybe top 5, top 6 overall. But for his age, like early 20s, he is one of the best midfielders in the league, or winger, to be fair.
Wales has made a substitute now at half-time. They took off Gareth Bale and put Brennan Johnson on. So they've put fresh legs onto there.
I did call it. I said Wales would act first.
I like coffee. I've not been watching the game, just watching the watch-along. Hey there, Tony. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. We have dominated this game. And once we score, Wales will come out and play, which will help us. I completely agree there with Tony too. Luke is doing an Iran watch along. He said Iran not bad. Tom's in the chat. Hey there, Tom. I hope you're well. Rashford, Henderson off for Grealish and Saka. Hey there, Nick. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. Sending hugs to you always.
Hey, Nikki. She's lovely. I'll tell you what, she is lovely, isn't she? You know what it is? I'd love to meet her in person. I'll give her a massive, massive hug. She is so, like you, Maisy, delicious.
She is so lovely, Nick.
She's delicious.
Cookie crumbles.
Hey there, Andrew. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. He put loads of Zs and said, most boring game ever. It sure is. Like your top Maislet. You know what, Andrew? I think you'd like it more if you knew who was on the back of my shirt. It's Lover, let's just say, for Andrew's point.
Oh, my days, Wells. Oh, that's close. It's a free kick anyway. So.
Nick has said Foden has been a welcome addition into the team. If he gets dropped, Southgate is lacking vision, and that's exactly what you were saying there, John, as well. Yeah. And I completely agree. You can't drop.
You know what? I just comment as well. Watching this game, right? Sorry, mate. Watching this game, right? It's like having Steve Bruce as manager. Bruce Ball is his finest.
Oh, it says a lot when you're comparing to Bruce Ball. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it says all as well, Maisy. See in the first half, were Wales playing a back 3 or a back 4 in the first half? Because they're playing a back 4 now. Like in the first half, were they playing a back 4 or a back 3 at the start?
No, they were playing a back 4. They was playing a 4-3-3.
Oh, they were right. Now they've gone to a more conservative 4-2-3-1. So the
Nick has said Netherlands/future Man United showing up today. Yep, Cody Gakpo. Can't wait to see him in red. Just me's in the chat. Hey there, just me. Hope you are well. My day, we're all okay, thank you. Hope you are well. Andrew said, a very controversial opinion. Mount fits in the team better than Foden. Now that is controversial. You know what, though? I can see where he's coming from. I can see it. But I don't think either one of them has suited Southgate.
You're right. They're just thinking, oh, he's too defensive for me. Do you know what I mean? But they got some good players there, you know, and they would have got out there and expressed themselves, but it's just one man holding it back. And I said this now, but it's so frustrating, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, man. And I keep on apologising, but I got to say
you don't need to apologise, John. At the end of the day, it's about your opinions on streams, and your opinion isn't wrong, or it's your opinion at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one thing that's an issue for both of them. It's actually a similar issue that Fraud Alexander-Arnold has as well. all three of them are system players. Gareth Southgate doesn't play a system that actually unlocks their potential. So Mason Mount's always going to be, well, in my opinion, pathetic for England. Phil Foden's never going to look effective. And Trent Alexander-Arnold is just flat out shit. But if you actually played a system that actually benefited Alexander-Arnold going forward, where you could use him in a game, because I think he may offer something different.
Get in! Rashford!
There we go, Rashford!
Now that's funny.
Yes!
Get in! Get in,
Well,
lad!
Get in!
Well, I'm not celebrating. It's okay. But
Right in the top corner.
either way, that's the reflection of it. Either team is one, they will go missing because they're not benefiting the system or the style that suits them. And it's horrible being a system player if the coach you're playing for doesn't even have a system that suits you.
Well, else I've got you, Reece. Do you want to answer Rabi's question on how England link up the play better, even though we just scored?
Get the ball more like between Bellingham and Foden, and get the wide players actually like spaced out rather than. Well, I don't think they're holding the ball up well in the wide positions, to be honest. But even though these have just scored, fair enough. But that's what I think.
And Nick has said, controversial, but it depends on the opposition. The coaches seem to lean towards certain players. I actually completely agree with that, because you look at, for instance, Raheem Sterling. The way Southgate plays benefits him so much, and the same with Bukayo Saka. Not because of the system or anything that Southgate uses, but I think it benefits them in the way of they're able to cut in rather than cross, and I think they're a much... 2-0! Yes! Foden, 2-0!
Hey,
Yes!
yes!
Get in!
I predicted 2-0, by the way, right?
You did. I predicted 2-1.
It's just going to be interesting where all the England fans are celebrating. I'm just sitting like no emotion. Like I'm not celebrating any goal.
But yeah, I completely agree with Nick, as I was saying, and the reason why I think it's with the wingers in particular, they tend to cut in rather than cross, and I think that's more their speciality. We haven't got a winger who can really cross into the box, ping it in, and I think that benefits them a lot better with the way Southgate plays the cut in. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
And I think in that type of coaching, it benefits the wingers better. And I think the way the formation we play benefits the back line a lot better in terms of Maguire and John Stones. Because either both of them can be exposed in club. Well, they are exposed at club. We're all happy in the chat apart from Reece.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what team wins or
and
loses.
Andrew's not happy. Andrew and happy, of course, being a Wales fan.
He's Welsh. He's a proud Welshman, isn't he? So
I'm in the definitive neutral zone.
You're in the you want to be in the I hate England zone.
Here, there's no point having hate when, frankly, I'm not even focused on this. I'm focused on Thursday. I'm just watching a bit of game of football between two nations from the UK.
I'm gonna throw a question over to Andrew. Do you think it was a bad idea taking Gareth Bale off so early for Brendan Johnson?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Because I'm not saying it's Brendan Johnson's fault why they've conceded, but I think for Brendan he hasn't really played. Has he even played in the World Cup yet?
I don't know. I don't think he has. No, because they brought it was Kiefer Moore they brought on the other day, wasn't it? Against America. Kiefer Moore. I don't know about Iran. I've got no
Andrew
clue.
said that Bale was injured. That's fair enough there.
That's not good. That could be his final World Cup then.
Yeah, because he's getting on.
How old is Brendan Johnson? Well, I know Bale is, but...
Johnson is about 21, I think.
2021.
That's good. He's got a good future. I wasn't sure how old he was. But nah, this is definitely Bale's last World Cup. Like, I'd be surprised if I see him at the World Cup in the States.
Yeah, Brendan Johnson's 21.
Not bad.
Can you see Wales ever qualify for the World Cup again? Or Euros even.
I think they could be. I think they definitely the Euros because they actually went pretty far in the Euros. And I think in terms of European competition, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid, but I think they could compete again in the World Cup. But they need to. I think they need to, in a kind of way, rebuild before that.
Yeah. I agree. Cross concept. Oh, great save. That's a great save.
I don't think he touched it.
Daniel James cross comes in. Oh, that went just
He didn't.
right.
I don't think he touched it, you know.
I think for Wales, one thing I'd do going forward, because I know he's played in that position before, is after this World Cup, I'd either bin Joe Allen or I'd bin Aaron Ramsey and I'd start playing Ampadu as a defensive midfield player. I think he's actually a better player there than he will as a centre back. I think Wales will be at the next Euros. The next World Cup goes out with 64 teams, so I wouldn't write Wales off for that. But Andrew says we're not qualifying for a while. I can see why you'd think that. They might qualify, they might not, but I'm more likely to say they'll be at the next Euros.
Good save from Pickford.
Good save, Pickford again. That's going out for a corner.
Don't worry, Andrew. You'll qualify again before Scotland.
Shut up.
Oh!
Don't worry, Andrew. You'll qualify again before Italy.
Wow. I tell you what.
For what, the World Cup or the Euros?
For the World Cup.
They got to qualify this time. They can't. That's twice they missed out, Italy. Once it's bad
enough.
Didn't they qualify because of North Macedonia or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, lost one now. Had 26 shots in North Macedonia. Did nothing. It was really...
Don't worry, Andrew. Don't worry, Andrew. You'll qualify again before Italy and Scotland. So don't worry about that whatsoever.
Here's me giving Wales credit and you just got to go and start slandering. What's the need?
Oh, John. Callum Wilson's coming on. And
look at that kid, doesn't it?
Oh, Mr. Calvin's coming on.
I hope he breaks his leg.
Oh, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh,
man.
You had to ruin that, didn't you?
Look, I don't wish any pain. But, Trent on it.
Yeah, Trent.
Well, there goes your clean sheet.
It depends where he plays him.
If he plays him anywhere, your clean sheet's gone because he can't defend for his life.
Might be like him as a mid. So Kyle Walker is coming off. And that is, I believe it's for Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Kane, Walker and Rice is all coming off. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, Calvin Phillips and Callum Wilson is all coming on. Yes, Calvin is coming on.
I wouldn't have taken Kyle Walker off, to be honest. I think he's had a fantastic game.
I think it's because he's been injured.
I suppose.
I Like Coffee predicted 3-0 for England, and it's going well for I Like Coffee so far. I can't wait to see how Calvin plays, though.
Let's hope Callum Wilson stays injury free.
Oh yeah.
I hope he does.
Davies looks like he's down as well for Wales.
Yeah.
That's another loss.
It sure is going to be interesting, Nick. I think 3 substitutes at times it can be a bit risky, but it's 57 minutes in, so it gives enough times for the players.
Absolutely. I mean, see what they can do. They might take a claim for the last 16. You just never know. You just never know. But I mean, make sure Callum Wilson comes off injury free after this competition, man, because you cannot afford to lose him. Well, we've got Isak coming back, hopefully, as well. Isak. And I tell you what, he can make a difference. He can make a huge difference.
What about Chris Wood?
No thanks.
You think he's going in January?
I hope he does, man. I hope he does. Because if he does score, then we're going to need another striker. We're definitely going to need another striker. You can't have Wilson and Isak. We need 3 quality strikers.
Who have you got in the FA Cup? Isn't it Sheffield Wednesday?
Sheffield Wednesday away.
Yeah, you can play.
That's a good tie. That's a good tie, that.
Yeah, that would be a good tie.
Andrew said... I would have got to the game for that game. I mean, I'll try to go to Leicester. But the thing is, so I was trying to get a ticket for the Leicester end, right? But you got to live in the county. before you get a ticket. You have to live in and around Leicester to get a ticket. They said it's sold out. It's not sold out, but I tried to get one today, and the ticket's about 46 quid for that ticket.
Wow.
And, but unfortunately, you have to have a membership. And even though they don't do general sales, I rang up the club today. They said they don't do general sales. So I said, look, I've got a strong Geordie accent, so I was going to buy a ticket. He goes, don't worry about that sort of thing. Don't mean they say they get people from China, they get people from Italy come to the game as well. So don't worry about it. Like, just want the money. That's it. So cool. But
for a moment, I thought Graham Potter was on the like the Wales physio bench, because the physio looks one of the physios actually looks.
You might need to take the way it's going at Chelsea. You might need that Wales physio job.
Yeah. Can you imagine that sort of?
Andrews also said that about resting Kane and Rice is smart.
Yeah.
And hey there as well, sweet Munchkin. I hope you're well. What was you going to say, Reece?
I hope Graham Potter actually does us a favour though in the FA Cup though. Although saying that, like, the guy isn't that good a coach, so.
But to be honest, though, this is the thing though, is the problem is with the media, they've overhyped Graham Potter so much for him to be to be made out as the best young manager. And I always used to say, yes, he's good, but the thing is, he needs to show that he could do it at a bigger club. And so far, he's shown he can't. I know it's only a couple months in, and we need to give the guy some time. But
it's looking bleak already. It's looking bleak already. The fact they had such a good start, and then the minute the wins started to disappear, you could see the chinks in the Chelsea armour. It really does look like he has got a lot to do with that team. I mean, the fact that they're getting Nkunku from September next year, which is painfully disgusting, it's still a very good sign for them. Like, God to hell, I hope they don't ruin him.
Yeah. Aaron Ramsey on a yellow card after a foul on Jordan Henderson. Ravi has asked who has stood out for you in the England game. It's a tough one, really, because in that first half, I didn't think there was many people who I could say, right, you've been fantastic. But coming from this second half, probably Foden.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Foden. Do you agree with that, John? Who would you say is your standout?
I think at the minute, I think Foden's making things happen, sort of thing. It's a hard one, really, but I think our defence as well. I think the centre halves have done all right. I thought midfield's been fine for me. I mean, Foden. I think they probably end up getting to Rashford that free kick, because it was a wonderful free kick goal, by the way.
It was.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Who's your stand-up player, Maisy?
I'd say Foden.
Yeah, I'll go along as well, because he makes things happen, and I think he's going to be a cracking player, him, in the years to come.
And Andrew said his man of the match has been Rashford so far. Hey there, Glenn. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. We are bidding 35 mil for Rashford, accepting that. Now, we're not going to let Rashford go for 35 mil. Not a chance. No way would United do that. I think he'll probably end up extending his contract. His contract's up in the summer, but he'll probably get extended. There's no way United will let him go like that, especially to Arsenal. Sweet Munchkin, are you and the gang having a work Christmas party? Luca, Melina, and Nippon. Yeah, why not? Why not at all? Why not? Are you hoping Callum Wilson gets a goal, John?
I hope so. I really do. If he does score a goal, then that would be fantastic for the lad's career. Even at 30, coming on 31, I'll be the first to big him up and to be happy he does score today. I hope he does, because he deserves it. He's having a fantastic season so far, Maisy, and I hope that he just keeps it going.
I thought I'd get this up whilst we're waiting for play to resume. Reece, do you want to touch on that, considering you sent it me?
Yeah, that was it was what they were discussing at half time. Like, that is in the first half alone. All the touches Wales actually had with the ball 197 touches and not a single one in England's box as well just shows just how imperative the England defence has been. But it also shown that they have been stuck to their own half. But from the chances they've actually had, the touches they've had inside England's half alone, they're not getting anywhere near that the England box. They need to get the ball further into the box, and I don't think taking Bale off at halftime, even though I did expect a change to happen, I would have brought Johnson on. I think that was right, but
Bale's injured though, isn't he? So
if he is injured, then I can see why, but it just doesn't help that they're just not getting anywhere near that box at all.
And what do you think of that, John? The Wales touches it. I do agree with Reece.
Yeah.
And just to let everyone know, Luke Shaw is now coming off. Why ain't they took Jordan Henderson off? Trippier is coming on.
He's got your captain's armband. He's not taking that one off now, is he?
Oh, crap. I didn't even realise.
Yeah, I noticed about a minute or two ago. I was like, oh, geez. Clocked that one for fun.
So, John, what do you think of that screenshot, the Wales touches?
It's just in the ball and just not getting enough of the ball, really, sort of thing. Because we're defending well. I mean, yeah, okay, they had one or two good chances, Dan James, and I can't remember who had the other chance as well, which was a shot deflected shot. But other than that, they haven't.
I think it was Joe Allen.
Yeah, that's it, Joe Allen. But they haven't hurt us that as well, sort of thing. They're not doing enough of the ball. They're not attacking us enough. But just goes to show plenty of ball, just passing it sideways as well. They are trying, but I think England's doing a good job defending as well. But not enough. I mean, England's got about 400 touches so far.
Yeah,
that's not really enough, isn't it? Really? That's not really enough in a game like this. So
I do think though that was the thing that didn't worry me about coming into the World Cup. The defence never worried me. It was the forward play what used to worry me.
Yeah, I think he did actually call Henderson starting as well, Andrew. I think he did. He also said, yeah, he does to myself. I can't remember what it was he was referring to when he said, yeah, he does. I'm not sure if he was talking about system players or Southgate's stupidity. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So if
and I was saying Calvin would start because I was just being ambitious.
To be fair, I had the same thing. I thought Phillips and Jude Bellingham would have started behind Foden. I think that's England's best midfield, in my opinion, but you've got strength there. You just need to be more dynamic with the ball.
Yeah, 100%. Wales is getting that more possession, though, ever since we've had them substitutes. I think, as much as I'm glad Southgate has used them substitutes, I think it's worked in Wales' favour in a way.
Oh, the Potter look like? He does look like.
Potter.
Yeah, he does.
I tell you what, though.
The other person looks like Rob Page.
As the Chelsea let him have time off, by the way.
Who knows?
I think Chelsea are having friendly games because they're not in the Carabao Cup.
I know we are as well. Ours is next. Ours is on Wednesday.
Who's playing Arsenal? Arsenal.
We're playing Arsenal next. Just over a month's time. We are playing on. It's on January the 3rd.
Oh, good move from Rashford. 3-0. Yes.
Wow.
Hey, 3-0.
That was poor from Danny Ward. It really was poor.
Another class goal for Manchester United.
This is a match day 3 for Manchester United players. It's great. Casemiro were man of the match. Bruno Fernandes were man of the match. And now Rashford is on his way to get man of the match. Danny Ward, that was very terrible what he just done. Like, Rashford cut in. I think that's the best way for Rashford to get it cut in anyway, because that's the kind of player he is. To get that cut in then, and then that it just literally, he got nutmegged. He got full on nutmeg, Danny Ward.
Wait a minute. Is that?
Lovely finish.
What is that?
That's poor keeping, by the way. Poor keeping.
It was.
And defending as well.
Went right through his legs.
It did. Beautiful. Great finish, by the way. And 3-0. Game over.
Andrew said his prediction was 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
My prediction's got out a win there as well, which is but doesn't matter. But USA is still winning. I believe it's 1-0 USA still.
Oh, it's not. I thought I recognised one of the England fans. I was like, oh, lol. But it's not.
I'm looking forward to seeing these player ratings at the end as well. Oh, I ain't even got my guaranteed goal scorer on my Group B. I had Kane to be my guaranteed goal scorer. They've disappointed me.
Has Harry Kane even scored a single goal this tournament?
No, he hasn't. He's assisted like 3-4 goals.
Shocking.
Just like Scotland being at home, shocking.
No, we actually win games at home.
Yeah, but you can't get into tournaments. That's the difference.
That's it.
Check your history.
What history? Where's your World Cup?
Yours is long
you're at
gone.
home.
That is shocking. That is shocking, that.
Kane was my golden ball bet from Andrew. Question from Robbie. Should Rashford be starting all the time? Personally, probably no. Unless we played Rashford up top, I'd say no. What do you think, John?
I think he will now. I think he will probably be starting now, like, you know what I mean? From what I've seen, Sterling's been off form in a minute, off fire in a minute. But I think now he's gonna have to start him. I mean, the thing is, you come in, I've always believed if you come in and you stake a claim and you score goals and do the job, then you should be kept in. No should be guaranteed in a place.
Yeah, but I agree.
This is Southgate. This is Southgate for you.
What about you, Reece? Do you think Rashford should be starting all the time?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think he will, though. And he's inconsistent.
Yeah, he's the only one getting the goals for you. I think that's the only other thing.
Well, he hasn't been the only one who's got goals in the tournament so far. We've had a range of different goal scorers.
Yeah, should talk goal scorer.
Callum's on the ball. Callum's on the ball.
Ooh. Rashford again early on a hat-trick.
Lovely play by Callum, by the way. I love it.
Very selfless by Callum Wilson.
He should have squared it to Foden. He was well in there. He's well in there.
I think Rashford tried to nutmeg Danny Ward again.
And I think Danny Ward
I thought the defending in front of Rashford when he actually scored that second goal was actually really poor. Like, not one of them at least tried to shut him down. Like,
exactly. Oh, by the way, I mean, Danny Ward, I think he's Leicester's number one.
He is.
We're facing him on December the 26th. And do you think we'll beat Leicester on Boxing Day?
Yeah.
You should do. You're a so much better team.
We are. And of our team and Eddie Howe, do you think we're scared of teams like United anymore? Liverpool at home? Do you think we're scared?
No, I don't think you are afraid of any teams, to be honest, because you give a good go at all teams you've played so far. Even if not all of it has worked out, you have give your best go at all of them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely. We're not scared. I mean, I went to Turkey, right? I was on holiday, right? And I watched that game, Newcastle against Man U, or Trafford. And the commentary said before the kickoff, this is a different Newcastle United. It used to be fair, but this is a different Newcastle team, and this team is not scared of anyone. And I tell you what, first half, we were brilliant. But that Ronaldo goal, is that a 2-foot tackle there by Foden? I tell you what, they were looking at that.
They've just let get away with it, though.
I know. Very, very lucky. But look, at the end of the day, right, I mean, we are being fantastic this season. Do you think we get Champions League this season?
No.
I think you may potentially get Europa.
I think he's just fall short, yeah. But he's good enough to get it.
I think we need to get the players in. If we can get the players that we need, I think what it is, I've always said this is a 5-year plan. I would have been happy finishing the top 8 or even 10th and a trophy or good cup run, yeah? but we're way ahead of our schedule, right? We're third, right? Know what happens at the end of the year? We'll probably be in the top 4 anyway, and hopefully get the players in. Give us Maddison, right? Give us Andre Santos, right? He's 18-year-old from Brazil, right? Get us that guy from Argentina, Peroni, right? Maximo Peroni, right? Fellas also only 19-year-old. But we need a midfielder. We need a left back. We could do with another right back on loan as well. But if we can get them in, guys, and their quality, that could make a whole difference between getting the top 4 and getting Europa League. In my opinion, I think we get Champions League this season. We're 8 points ahead of Liverpool, by the way, the game in hand. You're 4 points behind us with a game in hand. And don't forget, guys, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs have all got to come to St James's Park.
I think it's going to be a tough place to go this season.
It will be. We're playing cracking football, especially at home. Miguel Almiron out on fire this season. He really has been. He's been on fire. Rashford's coming off, by the way. And I'll tell you what, Sven Botman is got to be. People are talking about Saliba, right? But Sven Botman, that guy has been absolutely world-class for us this season.
Oh, yeah. It's Sven Botman has been great. I think for me, your best player has probably been Bruno this season, and Almiron has been fantastic as well. He's been absolutely on fire.
A star is for your born again, hasn't he? I mean, look, I think Almiron's been brilliant. He's got some cracking goals, by the way. The goal against Aston Villa. Oh, my God. That was bliss. Absolute bliss. You know what I mean? Even Sean Longstaff, not my favourite player, but he's done all right. I mean, let's be real. I mean, defending properly.
Is Matty on loan?
Yeah, he's on loan at Colchester. I think he's finished. I think he's done at Newcastle United. He'll not play for Newcastle again. Matty.
No. But, I can't see it.
But it's just, look, at the end of the day, you've got to feel positive. You've got a dream. You know what I mean? But I can see how like Coffee's comment saying we're not going to make top 4.
That could potentially happen, couldn't it?
It could happen. I just think he'll fall short right at the end.
I don't think Chelsea get top 4 this season. I don't either. I don't think you will, unfortunately, I hate to say it, right? I mean, the thing is, though,
I predict us as 5th.
5th. That means we got to be finishing 4th to keep Bruno on that. If we don't get top 4 this season, I think we'll struggle to keep Bruno unless he just we often nice goal could be in there. Shot comes in, great save down the road, great save. Is that 5th? Oh, it should have been in. It should have been.
I think
4
he's
anyway.
fine. Even if you don't get Champions League football, I think he will still keep Bruno Guimaraes. But I think he will demand, because the fact he is that top caliber player, I think he will demand that Newcastle try and match his ambitions, like bring in a few extra top quality players and go like, let's go for something. But I think if you do well and get I think he'll probably get Europa League football at best. But I think he'll still give it a real good go. I think he's well, like Eddie Howe's managing his team really well. I think he's need maybe another commanding centre half. I think you do need a defence midfielder like as well to go into that side. I think if he's got a defence midfielder and play beside Guimaraes and Joe Linton, you find. I think St. Maximin is amazing. I think Maisy will back me up how much I really rate St. Maximin. But you can't really rely on him all the time because his injury record isn't the best, but he's a fantastic dynamic winger. You find a player that can stay fit but is slightly ahead of him in quality that will force him to up his game more. And then you bring in maybe another striker. I mean, you've got Isak, but Callum Wilson, it's dependent on his injuries. I think maybe having 3 strikers would be smart. And then
I'd say a left wing, a winger for me at Newcastle, in my opinion, just because when you have got Miggy and St. Maximum injured, have you got a high class winger to replace him?
That is the thing. We haven't got Jacob Murphy. Got Murphy. He's not the answer for me. I will go out there and get Gakpo, Cody Gakpo, the Dutch.
He's close to signing to us. Sorry, John.
Is that a done deal?
Near enough. It's agreed personal terms.
If I was Newcastle, I'd stick to the French contingent. I'd go and get Moussa Diaby from Bayer Leverkusen personally.
Yeah, but he plays on the right, left footed though. That means Viggy plays on the right as well. So I see where you're coming from. We have been linked with the guy, and I tell you what,
I think he's fantastic.
He is a fantastic winner. He can make a huge difference to Newcastle United.
How he did not get picked for this France squad, I don't understand, because they could do with an extra attacking like winger. I think he's brilliant, especially for what you need. But there's options. Like there's no defined way to say it. There is options there out for you guys. Will you go and do it? I don't know. Like you seem to be making very smart signs at the minute, but
yeah,
it's just
another injury for Wales.
Yeah, they're creeping in a lot. You know who's actually this might sound funny. I don't know what you think, right? But I think he's quite an interesting option. You look already in the Premier League. You just want to add to your team very smartly. I would not be surprised if you saw Newcastle look into teams like Fulham or something. You signed Harry Wilson. I think he's actually a decent player. He's a hard working winger.
I'm not sure.
I'm not saying this as a starter. I'm saying as somebody to
he
add
isn't
to.
Even
like,
good enough for a backup. He isn't good enough for a backup.
He is actually. He
isn't. He's crap.
He's not.
I
think he's a decent player. I think he's a very decent player.
He's had more clubs than I've had hot dinners.
That's not really. Well, that's not distinctly true. That's not distinctly true. And I didn't say to start. I said to look around the team and add some depth.
But Super Nick has got a very good point here.
If you had said Nicholas Anelka, then 100%.
The World Cup hangover and January signings will define the rest of the season, and I completely agree with that. And I think that's the only problem with this World Cup is that it is going to cause a lot of disruption. Hey there, Tom, as well. I hope you're well. Thank you for coming into the chat. I like coffee wanting Vinny Jr. by the looks of it.
I tell you what, though, we're signing them, though, Maisy.
We've got Agent Casemiro, Agent Varane. I want Valverde.
You've also got Agent Anthony as well, if it's Brazilian.
I'm talking about Real Madrid players.
And that's why I said, like, Anthony's also Brazilian. He plays with Vinny Jr. I wouldn't mind Vinicius Jr. as a left winger, but
bring in Valverde.
Can't afford him.
I'll bring him in. Break the bank. I like Coffee said that you've dodged so many bullets with Lingard, Ekateke, and Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, the biggest one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. Here's a question. Is Dele Alli the biggest fall from grace in years for an English player?
He's up there.
Yeah.
100%.
He had so much potential, and I think the thing is, nobody spotted the downfall of him until Jose Mourinho.
I know. Did you see the you know how they done that stupid all or nothing thing for pretty much
I've watched them all.
We'll see how when Jose Mourinho does actually call him out inside the dressing room, and you saw Dele Alli's reaction, and people are like questioning Jose Mourinho, saying, "Well, he's like it's always Jose Mourinho's way, like it's toxic or not." But you can see why Jose Mourinho really did he appreciated Dele Alli at first because Dele Alli worked for him. The minute he got so sloppy and all that, he was gone. Like Jose did not give a complete care. He's like, well, if you're not going to work for me, then good riddance.
Didn't Jose Mourinho recently get rid of a Roma player? Isn't it their fullback?
Yes.
I can't remember his name now.
He got rid of.
I can't remember his name, but he's terminated his contract.
Yeah.
Oh no! He's literally only just done it. He's doing it for January.
He nearly got rid of Mkhitaryan though. Mkhitaryan he was putting work in, saying naturally no, he's going to keep him. But it wouldn't surprise me, Jose, when it comes to players. If you don't work for him, he's going to bin you, and rightfully so.
Ravi has asked, "Can England keep up this consistency throughout the tournament?" No,
no. I don't see why not. I mean, you've got.
Let's be honest. Are we going to beat the likes of Brazil playing like this? No. Are we going to beat? Are we going to beat the likes even of Argentina if Lisandro Martinez plays? No.
You said about getting rid of the left back, not Spinazzola.
Karsdorp.
No, it's their full. Yeah.
Carl Struck.
Carl-
He's a right back.
He is a
He's
toxic clown.
He's a what?
He's a toxic clown.
He is, isn't he? He's got 2 years left on his contract, by the way. He's got a market value of €9 million there.
And Jose wants his. I think he said like he needs either finds a new club in January or he's terminating his contract.
You talk about Carl Struck, because of Carl Struck, yeah.
Yeah.
He had all the talent as well to go and be a really good right wing back, but it just sums up that he just Mourinho's a very big judge of character, and if he does not bloody work for you, or you don't if you don't work for him, regardless, like even if he is at times outdated, like he is the manager, and it sums up like Mourinho, like he's still in that adage that he wants waters. That's why like a lot of people thought maybe Tammy Abraham would work for him. Tammy Abraham's the perfect striker for him. Like Zaniolo, like people thought he would be hindered by him, but Zaniolo's been fantastic under Jose Mourinho. Dybala's worked really well, even though he's been injured. Like Pellegrini's one of the best midfielders he's ever coached.
No Dybala praise, please. It's banned.
I will praise Dybala because I like Dybala, but I'm using him in the sense like it's. But I'm using that in the sense of like there are players that he will work with because they will put the work in for him. If you don't work for him, you don't put the effort in, you're going to get binned. Exactly. And that's a problem with professional footballers these days, is some of them think because they made $100,000 a week at 18 years old, they've made it. No, you've made it out.
Exactly. And going that as well, right? I mean, Jose, do you think Jose's got one big job left in the Premier League?
Yeah,
No.
Newcastle.
I think he's done. Okay. I think he's done in the Premier League now. Don't think he's gonna want to go back. He's been to 3 different Premier League clubs. I don't think he's gonna want any more. I think if he does do any more clubs,
one more run with Porto.
No, don't think he'll go back to Porto. I think he might do another Italian club if he's going to.
Because he's done Roma. He's done.
I think personally, I know a lot of people are saying, again, people tell us as well, even at work, that if Eddie Howe gets us into the Champions League, are they going to keep Eddie Howe for that Champions League, or they're going to get someone better than him?
Mourinho could be that. The Robson links. Here's another thing. Actually, I just wondered. Diego Simeone cannot stay at Atletico forever.
That's another good shout from Andrew. Portugal national team.
Yeah,
for Mourinho.
Mm-hmm. Santos is he contracted? Having another 2 years contracted? I think
he's on a long-term contract. Santos, long-term.
Yeah, Mourinho there would be very interesting. I would like to see Newcastle take Jose purely because of the Robson links. I think it's that symbolic match made in heaven. But I was just thinking there because Diego Simeone, he's also said at times he wants to go back to Milan, coach into Milan as well.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy to see after. It'd be interesting to see Mourinho go to Atletico Madrid after obviously the Barca connection years ago. He hates Barca for how they didn't give him the job over Guardiola, and obviously the relationship with Real Madrid did break down. It wouldn't surprise me for Jose to go to Atletico just to try and get one over Real Madrid.
Could be. But for me,
like Coffee said that you want Jose at Newcastle. You want Simeone though, don't you?
Simeone's man.
That would be I would not like to see that at all because I like Simeone.
I'll tell you something now, right? If Simeone came to Newcastle, I'll tell you what, the players, that training is going to be so sick, right? Those players will not know what will hit them. I mean, ASM won't last under Simeone. No way. He'll not last. Jamal Lascelles, goodbye. Yeah? For players like their sort of Sean Longstaff, goodbye to him as well. He'll come in and he'll make sure that it'll work. And work 2 training sessions as well, by the way. And you're not going to quarter that. You're done. You are done. But Diego Simeone is a winner. He is a champion. You know what I mean? He's won 3 UEFA Cups, and his team beat Barca and Real Madrid at their stadium to win trophies, right? But I take him, man. My top 3: Simeone, Jose, and the third one. It's going to be tough. I love CPET, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
I'd say Simeone, Mourinho, or just stick with Eddie Howe for a couple of years longer.
I'm a Eddie Howe fan. I would keep him all the time. I'll definitely keep Eddie for as long as possible. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think
people go on?
And this is obviously taking like the pure bias aside, the fact that you love him. So like just taking that side away from it, just from like just from a perspective, of just being like a Newcastle fan, like, do you think Eddie Howe will? I'd say he might win you an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, and maybe do okay in the Europa League. But do you think Eddie Howe is realistically the man who could win you a Premier League title? Like, just hypothetically, like, do you think he is realistically that guy, or do you think he would get you so far, and then you will have to move on, like what City did to get like Mancini? Like they had Mark Hughes to start the project. It was doing slightly okay, and they're like, we're just not getting to that level. Okay, let's go and get a manager who's absolutely blitz Serie A. Let's go and get Mancini.
Look, I mean, I support whatever PIF does. Yeah, I'm an Eddie Howe fan. You know that. I love
Definitely.
Eddie Howe. Yeah, the question you got to ask yourself is he going to win us the title? We're going to find out in the next couple of seasons. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's going to get us in the top 4, which I think is great. If he does get us the title in a couple of seasons, then I think PIF's got a decision to make. And if they want to get in a world-class manager who wins titles, then I think they may just do that because these people are just so ambitious, right? They put their money where their mouth is, right? They spent over 200 million in 2 transfer windows, right? But for me personally, is Eddie Howe going to get us a title? We'll find in a couple of seasons' time. But I tell you something, he is destined. He wants to win the title. He does want to win a title in future years because this guy is absolutely brilliant. And I really do hope he does it. And I'm praying that he does it. You know, I want him to succeed. I really do.
The interesting thing is that I think, if my math is right, there hasn't been. Well, yeah, I know this for a fact. This is math. An English manager has never won the Premier League, and the last English manager I think to actually win the old first division, I think it was Howard Wilkinson when he won the last ever season of the first division. So there's not been an English manager to win the top flight English title since 1992. It's either been a phenomenal Scotsman, or it's been like a Spanish, Italian, or a Portuguese. Yeah. There's not been to say all that an Englishman has not won the domestic league since 1992 is crazy. Which
I think that's a madness. Not having an Englishman win the Premier League for 30 years. That's when it first started. Do you know what I mean? Could you believe that? Unbelievable. That's 1990.
You'd think that.
1992.
91-92 season, yeah.
Yeah, that is a mess. That is absolutely crazy, man. But the one thing I will say, right? I mean, I will back him up. I will back Warner. That's what they do. I'd love to see Eddie Howe stay here for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. But if they want to win a title, right? Can you see it happening? I mean, I'm sure Luca probably think Eddie Howe may not be the right man to win us a title, but you know, we gotta keep Eddie, we gotta back Eddie all the way. But
I don't think he's ever done a bad job. Like the only reason he got banned at Bournemouth is because like they sold all his best players. He had too many injuries. And there was no way he was staying in that job. It was just pride. Like he just is either walk away or get sacked, and he did the right thing. But I'm just looking at, could he do it? I mean, he coaches teams really well. His style of play isn't actually a detriment to the league. It suits the league really well. The amount of points he's claimed since he's took over is a reflection of that. And that's with players who, before the likes of Maddison and all that, who were really poor quality player, he's improved them. Could you win the league with him? Possibly. Do I think he will? I'm just not sure. But I do think he'll win maybe 1 or 2 FA Cups. If he keeps playing the way he's doing.
Yeah, he wins a trophy. 100% wins a trophy. And we'd be happy for that. Do you know what I mean? But it's Lem's contract. I hope he does it. But if I was a betting guy with Eddie Howe winning us a title, probably not. But it get us very close. And I hope he does it because I want Eddie Howe to do so well with us. You know what I mean? And I'll be the first one to salute the guy if he wins the cup and wins the title. But I hope he does. I really, really hope he does, guys. And I'll be the first one.
Yeah, Pellegrini. I was just saying, yeah,
Pellegrini.
Pellegrini did one as well. He would actually, I thought he was very harshly judged at West Ham. I know it didn't particularly work in the end, but because his style of play was fantastic at that City team. Like, even though it's Man City, like, it was, like, they played a really exciting style of play. Like, West Ham, it was never realistically going to translate to that. But since he's went to Maddison and all that, he's managed to get his mojo back. I've always thought he was a decent manager, man, with Pellegrini. But yeah, it didn't end well for Bournemouth, obviously. I know I said Burnley, that was accidental. What he did at Bournemouth was impressive. Sean Dyche as well, Burnley, like, pride.
Reece has just got Burnley on the brain, people, because it's his championship club. But
behave yourself.
But yeah, England has finished. I like coffee yet again. Well done on your score prediction being right. Because I like coffee also predicted the England women final prediction right, as well as Chloe Kelly scoring. So very well done, I like coffee, for that correct scoreline. Predicted 2 England games right. So yeah, 3-0 for England. Fantastic second half. John, tell me what you thought of the game overall.
First half is just ball to digits, by the way, but the second half they just stepped up. I mean, once Rashford scored with a wonderful free kick goal, then that was game over, to be fair. And then Foden got a second goal very next minute, and then Rashford scored after a poor keeper by Danny Ward. But other than that, we stepped up. We could have been more goals. Harry Maguire should have scored at the end, by the way. How did he miss that? I just don't know. But
because he's called Harry Maguire.
Yeah, still a lot of work to be done, by the way. Still a lot of work to be done. And we have got to do much better the last 16 if we are to be successful. We've got Senegal next. That's not going to be easy. Senegal will be tough. And they got full of pace, full of running, and athletic guys as well. And let's hope, you look at it as well, we scored 9 goals, right? 9 goals, and Kane scored 0.
Yep. John. Reece, sorry. How have you thought of the game as well, for a neutral point of view, or I want both teams to lose point of view?
Overall, I thought the game was actually decent, to be fair. Like, I think the overall, like, the first half, it was completely flat. The second half, things did change up a little. But there was more.
John Stones.
There was certainly more of taking advantage in the second half.
Yeah.
I certainly think there was more. I certainly think there was actually more to this game than what we got. It was definitely a very exciting game in that sense. I'll have to admit, I did enjoy that game. But in terms of just Wales, I don't think Wales did enough. Personally, I don't think they actually did enough to realistically warrant an opportunity. But what I will say is, England, the chances they had, with the possession, the chances, they got the goals that, to be fair, they deserved. The rightful team did win. I thought Wales would have maybe got a goal, but even though I had 1-0, I had a 1-0 prediction at the start because I wasn't too sure how England would approach the game. I was hoping Wales would have got a goal, I thought, but in the end, though, you have qualified. What he's going to do now, who knows? But we'll see. Do I think he's going to win it though? Nah.
Yeah. So we've made it through to knockout stage. We will be playing Senegal in the next round, which is going to be a very interesting tie. I think we definitely did switch on in the second half. Probably, I think moving Foden over to the right position really did help us out. And I like Coffee did ask about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Henderson, Kane, and Walker. I think Walker was outstanding. I think he was very underappreciated in the game. Trent and Alexander-Arnold, average as always. Henderson, why did he give 90 minutes to him? I'll never know. And Harry Kane, I just think he was very flat. But overall, I am happy we got the 3 points and it's done with. We have topped Group B, and that is something that we did need. Thank you as well, Ravi, very much for that. So, I Like Coffee said, I predicted 3-0 because even though England were poor in the second game, Wales just couldn't be bothered. And that's right.
I agree.
So the stats for the game, I will get that, and that is England had 18 shots compared to the Wales 7 shots. England has 7 shots on target, which made 3 of them goals, compared to Wales's 1 shot on target. Wales had a 35% possession compared to England's 65% possession. John, what do you think of them stats overall? Oh, John, I can't hear you. You're on mute. 1 minute. Can't mute you.
That's better.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry about that. Listen,
okay.
The stats, we just completely dominated the game, to be fair.
Mm.
I mean, Wales were very poor than it. Like, I mean, they had plenty of the ball, but 2 decent chances. The one when past the post, when Pickford touched it on, he didn't. And then he saved a deflected shot. Other than that, I mean, Wales were poor. And I tell you what, as well, Rob Pearce has got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do if Wales are to be back in the next tournament. Yeah, they have to find a replacement for Gareth Bale. Also find a replacement for Aaron Ramsey as well. Brennan Johnson will come good. He will come good 110%.
100%.
You know what I mean? I like Brennan Johnson. I really do.
I think he's got a good manager in club, though, to develop him of Steve Cooper, because I think Steve Cooper is a good manager. I think he is adapting to the league at the moment as well as Brennan Johnson, but I think he does have the capability of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a young player. He's only 21, 22 or something like that. And you know what it is, right? I mean, he's full of running. He works hard for the team and he tracks back. It's just going to get better and better. Do you know what I mean? I mean, time is on the side, and he's going to be a fantastic player. If he plays for a bigger club with a better manager, no disrespect to Steve Cooper, then I think things will be on the up for this guy. Do you know what I mean? But look, Adam. I mean, if he keeps them up, then it's a good start for him. Do you know what I mean? I think Forest will be up this season.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to see the player ratings of what we've seen for the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do England's player ratings first. Jordan Pickford with a 7.4, Kyle Walker 6.9, John Stones 7.8, Harry Maguire 7.1, Luke Shaw 7.1, Jordan Henderson 7.3, Declan Rice 7, Bellingham 7.8, Foden 8, Harry Kane 7.5, and Marcus Rashford, man of the match, with a 9.1. Reece, what do you think of that? Them ratings for England?
I disagree with 2 of them. I disagree with Kyle Walker's and I disagree with Harry Kane's. I don't think Harry Kane done anything significant in the game. I thought Kyle Walker was your best defender. I'm actually quite surprised really by that. But overall, I would agree with the rest of them. But Harry Kane surprisingly high stat just because it's Harry Kane, whereas a player that actually done a fair amount in the game, like harshly underappreciated for his contribution. So yeah, I disagree with 2 of those, but overall the rest of them I would agree with.
Mm-hmm. What about you, John? I do agree with these ratings for England.
I'm gonna see it go with Kyle Walker as well, sort of things as well. But I think the cry game he wasn't really tested. Luke Shaw wasn't really tested either, to be fair. But I thought in midfield as well. I thought Harry Maguire, he's lucky to be getting so that chance he had at the end, he missed.
That was John Stones in the end.
John Stones, sorry. I thought it was Maguire, sorry. Yeah, probably a steady 7 at the back 4. Apart from Kyle Walker, would have given him 6 personally. Midfield, I think Bellingham stepped up. I would have given him 7, definitely stepped up. Jordan Henderson, definitely a 6. Declan Rice, maybe it's a 7. The front 3, Foden, definitely an 8. Rashford, I would give him an 8. And Kane, he didn't do much for me today. I would have given him 6, to be fair.
I'm looking at them ratings. I do disagree, just like you two, with Kyle Walker. I do think that it is very harsh Pickford, I think he does deserve a higher rating than John Stones because he did make a couple of good saves in the game. Even though he wasn't overly tested, he still made some great saves, what did keep England in the game. I disagree with Jordan Henderson's rating because I think he was absolutely poor in the game, in my opinion. I think he was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. And Harry Kane, I don't think he deserves a 7.5 either. But Wales is Wales ratings: Danny Ward 4.3, Davis 4.9, Rondon 5.4, Memphis 5.8, Nico Williams 6.6, Ethan 6, Allen 6, Daniel James 6, Ramsey 6.1, Gareth Bale 5.9, Kiefer Moore 6.1. What does this really say? That a player comes off from the 36th minute, gets a 6.6 compared to all the other players on the pitch. He's actually got the best rating. What does that really say on that Wales squad for you, John?
I think it's a mockery, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Let's be real, because I thought they were poor. I mean, I wouldn't give any of these players more than a 5. To be fair, I just think they're being poor. There's not enough creativity. I thought Nico Williams did that. Nico Williams.
He was definitely by far their best player, and for me, it says a lot that a player who's on for 36 minutes has got the best rating for Wales.
Exactly, and he's got a great future. In the national team as well. Let's be real. I mean, I expected more than Dan James. Didn't do a lot. Gareth Bale didn't get into the game. Yes, he was injured. That cannot be helped. Ramsey hasn't got the legs for it anymore. Joe Allen tried his best. I think he was their second best player on the pitch today, trying to make things happen. But other than that, I think Wales are poor and I mean, Danny Ward, I hope he plays against us in the Premier League for Leicester. I hope he does. Then we're going to rough them up sort of thing as well. But look, it was poor from Wales tonight, and they need a lot of work going into the Euros as well. Rob Page is definitely the man for us, not man for them. But they're going to need to find a new Gareth Bale because I think his time as well is over.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Reece? What have you thought of Wales' ratings?
Don't necessarily think any of them are wrong. I think Dan James was one of the worst players on the pitch for me. I don't think he'd done anything. And that's not because I've got a Dan James agenda. It's just I don't think he'd done anything. For a change, I'm looking at it overall. I don't think the midfield base that were particularly involved in the game. I don't think you can play Ramsey as a 10. I think if you're going to play a 10, you either play. I still say I think he's a good player. I play either Harry Wilson as a 10, or you play 2 up top and you put Harry Wilson on the right wing. I think Wales could have done really well playing in a 3-4-3. I think the back three suits them better than a back four does. I don't think they've got the personnel to play a back four. I think Nico Williams harshing him obviously to go off at half time, but before half time, I think in a wing back role, I think he would actually be far more comfortable. And then you could play a front three of potentially James and Wilson, either Kiefer Moore or Gareth Bale, depending on what they're going to do. Brennan Johnson as well. That could be a front three for them in the making. It's young, it's fresh, it's dynamic. You just need to find a midfield for it. But I feel for Wales. I thought Wales may have done slightly more to the tournament, but unfortunately for me, they're one of the biggest underperformers. There's a few other teams that obviously, but they've got a decent squad there. They just need to try and find ways to freshen up. But do I think they're good enough as a back four? No. Could they go on and do better things in a back three system that gives them more opportunity? Yes. When's that going to happen though? I don't know. But I think for them purely, they can't get away with Aaron Ramsey as a number 10. He can't play it to save himself. He just can't do it.
Looking at the Golden Boot contenders, Marcus Rashford is in the league alongside of Cody Gakpo and Kylian Mbappe to be Golden Boot winner, and that really says a lot as well. He's played less games than the two of them too.
Yeah. Depends on how you play this round.
And we've got as well the player ratings for the substitutes. For Wales, Connor Roberts got a 6.3. Brennan Johnson a 5.7. Joe Morrill got a 6.4. Harry Wilson got a 6.2. Colwyn, just because he went on in 9 minutes to spare, it wasn't fair to give him a rating, of course. And for our substitutes, Trent Alexander-Arnold got a 6.1. Callum Wilson got a 6.5. Calvin Phillips got a 7. Kieran Trippier got a 6.5 and Jack Grealish got a 6.8. And I'd say they're pretty fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Didn't come on for long, but look, you're right. It's pretty fair. And I think that score's about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. So let's quickly read the comments, then we'll wrap up. Mays, England are playing against your boy Koulibaly. No, he ain't my boy. No, thank you. No, thank you. Big up as well to you, Reva. Will you be streaming the last 16 games? I might do, Niall. I might do, just because I am working late next week. So I'll just have to see on what I'm doing in terms of that. I may potentially do Tuesday evening or Friday evening, may do. I'll have a think about it. And thank you as well, Nick, for all your support. It really means a lot. So, yeah, England 3-0. Rashford scoring twice. Foden scoring as well. John, thank you very much for coming on. It's great to see you again after nearly a month. Would you like to shout out your socials?
Yep, certainly will do. Thank you so much for having us on. And you can find us on Twitch, it's John Sinclair TV. You can also find us on Facebook, John Sinclair TV. And on YouTube, it's the same. If you find us on Insta, it's John Sinclair 50, all lower cases. And if you'd like to find us on social media, it's John_NUFC 42. And I'll do all the watch-alongs, so I get a chance. I'll do the previews, warm-up shows, match reviews, player ratings, Toon Talk as well, and I'll do the Premier League predictions with you on the Tuesday with Tony, and yeah, just all the breaking news as well, and other stuff as well. So please, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm another 110, I think I am, 110, 111, 12, whatever, from before 4K.
Mm-hmm. And Reece, with Ravi shouting out you being terrible on FIFA, would you like to shout out your socials as well? Thank you for coming on.
It's only a Liverpool fan being jealous of a Man United fan. It's okay. It's okay. Just remember, like, at least our women's team doesn't bottle it to Redden. So you can find me there at Devil's Rising on YouTube and Twitter. You can also find me on the Weekly Armchair Sports Talk on a Saturday, because also that was my wrestling podcast, and that's about it, really. And obviously, my first channel watch-along on Thursday. I'm trying to remember who's joining me. I think it's someone with a laugh that you could hear for, like, galaxies away. Oh, yeah, it's you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Thursday, 7 o'clock, Maisy's joining me for watch-along Germany versus Costa Rica. So we'll see how she handles that one.
Come on, Costa Rica. Woo.
No, we won't have that. We won't have that.
Why? You went neutral. Why can't I support who I want?
I'm just making rules. I'm only joking.
I'll wear my England top for your stream. Don't worry about that.
No. You told me I'm not allowed to wear Germany tops on your stream.
You've already done it before.
Not on this one, I haven't.
No. But yeah, we'll wrap it up here anyway. For both John and Reece.
Thanks for having me, Maisy.
It's okay. I've put your link in the description below for both your channels, so go and subscribe to John Sinclair TV and also to Devil's Rising. John is back on my channel tomorrow as well. We will be doing a preview for England versus Senegal. So John, twice in 1 week, I am a lucky girl to have you on at 5 o'clock. And we get to actually have some joy talking about today's game, and we'll be able to discuss a bit more about Senegal, and you can talk about Koulibaly as much as you like.
Oh man,
I know John's happy about that. Not too much. I might have to ban the word. But thank you so much.
We're going to talk to you about Napoli. We're going to talk about the Chelsea.
Yeah, I can't wait. But thank you both very, very much for coming on. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button to Devils United and also to John and Reese's channel. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. for the preview. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.